Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Chaos Bros podcast. If you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. If you watched last week, welcome back. We hope you enjoyed last episode. Today, we're going to try to keep it a little bit shorter. We'll see how that goes. We tend to blab a little bit, though. If not, just kind of skim through as you need to. Watch the whole thing if you got time. Whatever works best for you.
Oh, yeah.
But we got an exciting show today. We're excited to talk about some of our rankings with you. Again, if you have any suggestions, just go ahead and leave a comment. I also make posts on the community channel about when we're recording for the podcast. So you can also comment on that post. We look at that too.
Mhm.
So if there's anything you want to see ranked, we kind of have a ballpark of like the next 3 or 4 episodes, what we want to do. But if you guys have any suggestions, we can kind of move some stuff around to get some suggestions from you guys. So always welcome for some feedback.
Yeah.
Today, though, we're going to start off with a blind ranking list. So today we are doing superhero blind rankings. Any category, DC, animated, Marvel, whatever you have. Any superhero, just blind ranking superheroes.
Yep.
So with that, Logan is going to start ranking. I'm going to read my list off to him, and we will get started. So your first one that I'm going to give you
Okay.
is Mark Ruffalo's Hulk.
Ooh. Right. And this is like entire like MCU, including Smart Hulk, including like
everything besides Incredible Hulk, because that was Edward Norton. But everything forward from Incredible Hulk.
Ooh.
This includes Peak Hulk, Crappy Smart Hulk, all of it.
I think he's like a 5 for me. I think like mid. I think Smart Hulk kind of brings it down a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think he's
sure. Okay. Moving on, we're going to give you Chris Evans, Captain America.
Oh, gosh. Is there? Oh, freak. 3. I think he's a top 3.
That's a good choice.
I think he's a top 3. Because I know you're gonna pull maybe some DC and
I got a little bit of both.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna give you Hugh Jackman's Wolverine.
You
take another spot in your top 5?
I gotta go 1 on this.
Okay.
Because I know if you put like some Batman actor.
So I already have my list set. I'm not changing anything.
Okay.
Tell me, is there anybody that you would be upset if I gave you after you just put Hugh Jackman at 1?
Christian Bale's Batman. I'll be mad if you put that, like, if I have to put that lower.
Okay.
Anything else, I think I'm okay. But yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's all right.
All right.
I think you're going to do good then.
Okay.
Next, we're going to go, and I'm sorry if I butcher this name. We're going to go Gal Gadot Wonder Woman.
Gal Gadot. The T is...
No, I read on the internet that the T is pronounced. You can Google it. Google it. You're saying it wrong. Because I didn't want to say it wrong on the podcast. I looked it up. It said pronounce the T at the end.
Gal Gadot?
Yes, that's what I looked up.
It's Gal Gadot.
You can correct me if I'm wrong. Comments can correct me, but Google it. That's what I was preparing for this episode, and I knew I was going to give him her, and I looked up how to pronounce her name, and that is what Google said.
You got like 50% right. You got Gal right.
No, I will Google it right now on pod. I will pull it up. I will pull it up on pod. Here we go. So Google says the emphasis placed on the second syllable of her last name and the T at the end is fully pronounced, not silent.
Gal Gadot.
Yes.
Oh, I hate that. Oh.
Gal is how you pronounce the first name, and then Gadot is the last name.
Gadot.
Yes.
Gal Gadot. I hate that. 10. No, I'm kidding. Wow. Yeah, 10.
Oh no, I'm sorry, we are wrong.
We are.
But it's both. We're both wrong. It's not dot. It's Gal Gadot. So like boat, but with a D.
Gal Gadot.
That's how you pronounce it. So we were wrong. We were both wrong.
Gal Gadot.
But I tried to prepare. I tried.
She's 10.
Okay. I agree with you. I think she's okay.
No, she's not.
I think she's okay in the first Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah.
I think she's horrible in Batman vs Superman. I think she's horrible in Wonder Woman 1984.
No.
Yeah, in Justice League. And then in 1984, you don't have to do this.
Oh my
Yeah, no.
gosh, dude.
For sure.
I hate that. Gal.
Yeah, and if you couldn't already tell, this isn't just blind ranking superheroes in general. We are doing the portrayal of this superhero.
Yes.
So the specific actor.
Yeah, because you could put Henry Cavill, Superman, and David Cornsweet.
So we're doing the specific portrayals, not just because some of you might be like, "How's Wonder Woman a 10?" Well, it's her Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
So that's how we're doing this ranking.
Mm-hmm.
So next up, I'm gonna give you George Clooney's Batman.
He's like equally bad.
George Clooney's
He's
Batman.
9. He's 9.
Okay.
He's 9. He's horrible. Hate the bat nipples bat suit, dude. The worst bat suit. It's not the bat suit.
All right.
That.
You got 5 left. Your list is halfway done.
I think that's pretty solid right now.
Next up, you're gonna have
Oh, please don't say that. I know which one.
Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Ooh. Okay. I thought. Sorry, I was thinking about another person. Now, am I banking on if you're going to give me Christian Bale's Batman? Because if
I have my list set, I'm telling you, I am not changing what I've prepared. You can even look afterward.
No, well, no. Am I banking on if you're because if you already put one Batman on there.
Yeah, am I going to give multiple of one character is what you have to decide.
Yeah.
But
Oof. I'm gonna get some hate. I think I'll go 4.
okay, I think that's fair. I think that's very fair.
I was gonna put him at 3 or at 2, but I'm like, yeah.
I think that's very fair.
Okay.
No. Ooh, there's some thunder.
Thor's coming.
And I think you're gonna be okay with that. Because next, I'm going to give you Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
Ooh.
So I think you're going to be okay with putting Tobey at 4. Because am I wrong? I think you like Andrew more.
I love Andrew more. I love him miles better. Now, I love
So I think you're going to be okay.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
No, I thought that I was going to laugh if you put Tobey at 2. Because I knew I'm giving you Andrew right after that. So I was going to laugh if you put Tobey at 2.
I would have crashed out, dude.
Oh, I was going to laugh.
Oof. Now I really hate myself if you give me a really good hero.
Well,
and it goes
we got
below
3 more. We got 3 more.
No, but it goes below.
We got 3 more. So next, I'm going to give you David Cornsweet Superman.
Ooh.
What are you thinking?
Really hate putting him at 6, but I'm going to put him at 6.
Okay.
I got to do
It's
that.
got to be the highest remaining.
Yeah.
All right. Next, I'm going to give you Ryan Reynolds, Green Lantern.
Am I putting him at 7 or 8?
I don't know.
I think
Do I have a really horrible one coming next, or what do I got?
I think I'll put him at 8.
8? Okay.
I'll put him at like 8 just to be safe, because if you give me someone really good in there at 8, I'm going to really hate myself.
Okay, looking at your list so far, what are you thinking? Looking good?
I like it. I think
I'll wait. Superman. I think Superman's too low.
Yeah.
But besides that, I think it's good.
I think it's good. All right. Who am I putting at?
At number 7, Logan has
Don't say it.
Christian Bale back.
Dang it! No!
I had this scripted.
No!
I am not lying. It was on my phone. I purposely gave him last because I knew you'd put like the Hugh Jackman and Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. I knew you'd put them up high, so I purposely gave him
I
last.
hate myself. This is a crash out. I hate that. I freaking hate that, dude. Dang it, dude.
I purposely gave him last because I was like, there's gonna be some heavy hitters that he's gonna put high, and then he's gonna have to put him pretty low. So to reread your list to the audience, we have starting at 10, Wonder Woman, George Clooney Batman, Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern, Christian Bale Batman, Spider-Man, David Gordon Sweat Superman, Hulk from Mark Ruffalo, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, Chris Evans Captain America, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and then at number 1, Hugh Jackman.
Can I change?
What would you change?
All right. Now, last time I didn't have much to change.
So you're putting Bale at 1?
No, we're gonna put Bale at 3.
Okay.
He's going at 3.
Okay.
Captain America is going 4.
Okay.
And then,
So where's Toby going?
he's gonna go at 5.
Okay. Where's Hulk going now?
He's gonna switch with Superman. So Superman's going 6 and Hulk is going 7.
Okay, but besides that.
Yes.
So your reworked list, 10 through 1, would be Wonder Woman, Clooney Batman,
Mhm.
Reynolds Green Lantern,
Yes.
Ruffalo's Hulk,
Mhm.
Corn Sweat Superman,
Yes.
Toby Spider-Man, Chris Evans Captain America, Bale's Batman, Andrew Spider-Man, Jackman's Wolverine.
Yes. I think that's the perfect list.
Okay.
But I hate myself.
So you had several things that you needed to switch around.
Yes, because I hate myself. I hate myself.
All
That's what
right.
I have to live with today.
Well, I'm up next, so we'll see. Is he gonna get his revenge on me?
Maybe. We'll say. Okay.
Whenever
I
you're
think we have a good list. I'm gonna get started with.
ready. Okay.
Now, this was a TV show when we were kids.
Yeah.
The Spectacular Spider-Man animated Spider-Man.
Ooh. I did not expect that. That was throwing me very off. I love him. I don't know how much animated you did versus live action.
Because that's the only.
If I had to rank my Spider-Man, he comes after all 3 of the live action
Yeah.
Spider-Man for me. So like,
That's the only animated show I have on there.
okay.
So that's the only animated.
I don't feel horrible about this. I'm gonna put him at a 6, just
Okay.
because we're doing out of anything. If this was animated only, like if I'm only ranking animated superheroes, he'd probably be like top 3.
Yeah.
But like, I would have all the I'd have the MCU Spider-Man above him. I would have Andrew Spider-Man and Toby Spider-Man above him. So I mean,
Yeah.
just because it includes live action.
Yeah.
So we'll put Spectacular Spider-Man
Ooh. Okay.
at 6.
All right.
Leg.
Now, your list, what you gave me,
Yeah.
was very similar to what I picked.
Well, don't give me any clues.
We're gonna get Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman out of the way.
We're going 10.
All right.
We're going 10. There is only one, and I'm not going to reveal just in case you have them.
Okay.
There's only one person I think I would put below her, but
Okay.
I don't think you chose them. So,
Ooh, I don't know.
so
I don't know. Oh, I think I know who. We've got Ryan Reynolds, Green Lantern.
oh, wow.
Next,
We'll go 9 with that.
we'll go 9. All right.
Okay.
Edward Norton's Hulk.
I like him. Hot take, maybe. I like him better than Ruffalo's Hulk.
All right.
We're gonna put him right under Spectacular Spider-Man, so we're gonna go 7.
All right. Ooh. All right.
Yeah, we'll go 7. That feels right.
All right.
And now I gotta hope I get a good top 5. If this is just a garbage list and there's no good people on here.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Okay.
Doctor Strange.
Perfect. I think he's underrated, and you're gonna see our MCU rankings today. I love him.
He's great.
I think he's the perfect casting for that character. I could not see anybody else playing that character. I think it was Cumberbatch did the audition for him,
Mm-hmm.
got offered the role, and I think he denied it.
Ooh.
And I saw an interview on this the other day. They were ready to offer the role to Joaquin Phoenix
Ooh.
instead of Cumberbatch because Cumberbatch denied it.
Yeah.
But then Cumberbatch's agent was talking to him and he was like, hey, all the big actors are hitting it big with superhero movies right now. So he ended up going back and telling Marvel, yeah, I'll take it.
Ooh.
But there's a universe where we could have had Joaquin Phoenix,
Ew.
and I do not see that at all.
Ugh.
I do not see. I think it was Joaquin Phoenix. You can look that up and correct
Yeah.
me. But I think I saw it was Joaquin Phoenix that was going to get that role if it wasn't Cumberbatch. And I was like, I cannot see anybody besides Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
So, anyway, for my ranking on him, I'm talking too much. I'm gonna go 3.
All right. All right.
We're gonna go Benedict Cucumber at 3.
All right. Now, how do we do this? David Cornsweet's Superman.
Oh my goodness. For me, he is the perfect representation of what Superman is supposed to be. We've only seen him in one movie and a TV show so far. He's in the Supergirl movie that just came out. I'm seeing that tomorrow. But he's just a brief cameo. Just like in the Peacemaker TV show, he's just a cameo. So we've really only seen him in one feature-length movie so far. Is that enough to put him at 2?
Ooh.
For me, I think he is high enough to be a 2. But is that enough for me to put him at 2 just based off one movie? We're going to go 4.
Okay.
I think looking back 2 years from now, after Man of Tomorrow comes out, we could be going, yeah, he's 2 or 1. But I'm going to put him 4 for now.
All right.
Okay.
Hugh Jackman's Wolverine.
That's going to be one of the top 2. Who would I put above him? I think there's only 3 characters portrayed by certain actors that I would put above him.
All right.
Are you going to give me one of those 3?
I don't know. How low do I know you?
We're going to go 2.
All right.
Because, I mean, the chances you give me one of those 3, I think, are pretty high. We'll see.
You did. All right. Sorry, I gotta edit my list. Christian Bale's Batman.
That was one of the 3. That was one of the 3.
You got 8 and 1.
I feel like you have a really heavy hitter coming, though. And I hate it if I get like a... Oh. I'm going to hate it if I get a horrible one as number 1. You're going to give me like a... What could we even go? You're going to give me like an Aquaman or like... Ezra Miller Flash. Sure. I'm going to hate it if that's my number 1. But I feel like I just have to go on gut instinct.
Yeah.
I feel like you got a heavy hitter coming.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put Bale at 5.
Okay.
Now, I would rework this a little bit, and I'd put Bale at 3 and move Cumberbatch and Superman down.
Okay.
But I'm going to put Bale at 5 just because I feel like you have something coming.
All right. Now, he's one of my favorites. I don't know if he's one of yours.
Okay?
Grant Gustin's CW Flash.
Yeah, he is. I think he's worthy of a 1. I do.
Yeah.
Can I leave my number 1 spot open for last? That's the question.
I think you gotta trust your gut.
My gut tells me put Grant Gustin at 8.
But does he deserve an 8?
No, he doesn't. But I'm gonna hate it if you give me like an Andrew Garfield at 1, or if you give me an Andrew Garfield that I have to put at 8, I'm gonna hate that. Or if you give me a Robert Downey Jr. that I have to put at 8, I'm gonna hate that. So it's like we're gonna put Grant Gustin at 8, and we're rolling the dice with number 1. Let's see how that goes.
Let's see if you rolled right. And as your
Okay,
number,
give me hints. Tell me what universe it's from.
He's a Marvel character.
MCU or non-MCU?
Non-MCU. Well, actually, technically an MCU person.
It's one of the Spider-Men.
It is one of the Spider-Man.
Okay. I'm fine no matter who it is. Whether it's Andrew or Toby, I'm actually fine with this. So who do I got?
Tom Holland. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, you said technically MCU and not fully MCU.
It is Tobey Maguire
Okay.
Spider-Man at 1.
I'm okay with that. I don't feel like that's horrible. I would have hated Toby at 8, so I'm glad I did that. So I will give you my here. You read the list as it is, and then I will give you my
As,
review.
as worst to best
Yes.
superheroes, Dan has Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot's, Ryan Reynolds, Green Lantern, Grant Gustin's Flash, Edward Norton's Hulk at 7, the animated Spectacular Spider-Man at 6, Christian Bale's Batman at 6, David Cornsweet's Superman at 4, Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange at 3, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine at 2, and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man at 1.
Mm.
Is there any that you want to switch?
Yes, I'm reworking this list. Give me 2 seconds.
Oh man.
Okay. Do. Oh yeah. Stick with us for a minute.
Yeah, he's fixing his list because I gave him 80% heavy hitters. Now I was thinking about giving you.
Okay.
I was thinking about giving you Ezra Miller's Flash.
I would hate that. So reworking this, everything's kind of shuffled a little bit, but I think they're mostly in the spots that I would put them. So I'd move Bale to 1. I would put Bale at 1. I'd have Hugh at 2, stick him there. I'd put Cornsweet at 3, Cumberbatch at 4. So just switch those 2.
Okay.
Then I'd put Toby at 5.
Okay.
So pretty much just switch Toby and Christian Bale.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would have Grant Gustin at 6. I would have Spectacular Spider-Man 7. Edward Norton 8. Ryan Reynolds 9. Gal Gadot. That's how I would switch it up. So most of it's in the same space, but I would switch a few.
I like that.
I think that went okay.
I think yeah.
So,
Ooh.
roast us in the comments.
Yeah, roast us. I think we did decent. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
All right. We are going to move into our MCU movie rankings.
Ooh.
Neither of us has seen every single MCU movie.
No.
I don't think.
No.
What am I missing? Have I seen all MCU movies?
You've seen 30.
I haven't seen all the TV shows, but I might have seen all the movies.
I think so. Because you've
Maybe. We'll stick with us for a second. We'll confirm that.
Because I've seen 29 films. So I haven't seen all of sort of the newer stuff and sort of like
Yes, I have seen every single MCU movie.
Okay.
So there are technically 37. I have 38 on my list because I included the Punisher special as a movie.
Okay.
It's kind of in that weird zone of like, do you put that as a TV show or a movie? I'm kind of putting it's a feature length thing. It's over an hour.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of putting that in the movie category. So I have 38. He has 29.
29. Yes.
So he has not seen everything I have movie wise. I have not seen all the TV shows. We are not ranking the TV shows because I've only seen like 3 of them. I don't know how many he's seen.
None. No, I've seen like 3. I've seen like 3.
Yeah, so we're not ranking TV shows, just movies. But I'm going to get started. The way this is going to work is I will go my 38 through 29 since he does not have as many as me.
No.
Once I get to 29, we'll start going back and forth when he can jump in.
Yeah.
So, starting off my list, at number 38 with a 2 out of 10, I have Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania as my worst MCU movie. Correct me if I'm wrong, that's one of the ones you haven't seen, right?
I have not seen that, and I'm glad that I have not seen that one.
It was such... The first trailer, if you were there, you know what I'm talking about. You had to experience this. The first trailer for this movie hyped this movie up so much. It made it look like MCU's back, because this was that time period where, like, we had No Way Home, and we had some hitters, but, like, it was a lot of slop.
Yeah.
And so the first trailer for this, everybody was so excited. It was like, MCU's back, this looks awesome. The movie is not portrayed like the trailer shows it at all. Kang is an idiot. He gets beaten by a bunch of Scott Langs. I don't even freaking know. MODOK is ruined. we're going to try not to give too long of explanations in this episode. I think most of you would agree with me
Yeah.
that it's at least toward the bottom of the list, if not the worst. But
Well,
worst movie, number 38, with 2 out of 10, Ant-Man Wasp Quantumania.
well, and since they cut Kang out of the time slot for the big bad of the new MCU,
and it doesn't
makes
help.
no
It
sense.
doesn't help that Jonathan Majors had that legal situation,
yeah,
and Kang's gone now, and they had to redo their kind of plan.
yeah.
So that goes in last for me. With a little bit of a jump up, number 37, I have a 4 out of 10, Thor: The Dark World.
Okay.
So before Quantumania, Thor: The Dark World has always been my least favorite MCU movie. I just think it's too bland. It's too boring.
Yeah.
The villain's pretty cool, but he's not super memorable. So, like, it's not something where, like, if you're ranking your favorite villains, he's going to come up. But, like, if you watch the movie, you're like, yeah, he was a good part of the movie. He was all right, but not very memorable.
Mm-hmm.
Going into number 36 with another 4 out of 10, I have Captain America: Brave New World. I was really excited for this one, too. They promoted this as, like, Red Hulk's debut to the MCU. And I thought it was going to be interesting how they would choose to introduce him. I thought it was interesting. How are they going to show us Falcon's Captain America? How are they going to spin that? He became Captain America at the end of Endgame in 2019, and it took all the way to 2025 to get him his own movie, which I think they took too long on that. Kind of did him a little dirty. It just did not live up for me. It's my third least favorite. Red Hulk was marketed super heavy for this movie, and he's in the last 5 minutes of the movie. Just does not hold up for me. It was marketed in a way that did not deliver in the actual movie.
Mm-hmm.
Moving into number 35, I have Thor: Love and Thunder, also with a 4 out of 10. So for me, it's kind of the same issue with Thor: The Dark World. One of it's actually a complete opposite. So Thor: The Dark World's a bit too serious at times. Thor: Love and Thunder's too silly at times. But they both have the same problem with it being boring. The movie's dragging on to get to the end fight, and it's just kind of like, okay, there's a horrible CGI scene. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Christian Bale was the best part of that movie, and they completely wasted his character, and now he's done. Like, you could have had a way better storyline for him, or even keep him alive so he can be in a future movie.
Mm-hmm.
But they completely wasted Christian Bale, and he was the best part of that movie by far. I have that at a 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
Number 34 with another 4 out of 10. I have a lot of 4 out of 10s, guys. I'm sorry. But number 34, I have Captain Marvel. I wasn't the most excited for this movie. I didn't know a lot about Captain Marvel back when this came out. But I was an MCU fanatic. I was in high school. It was my thing. So I was like, let's go see this. I think it kind of was about what I expected it to be. I didn't expect it to be a great, heavy-hitting MCU movie. I expected it to be an origin story for a new character. It's pretty much what it was. I think they ruined Nick Fury. The story with how he got his eye clawed out by a cat. I'm like, in the earlier movie, either one of the Captain America movies or the Avengers movies, he talks about
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier, that's what
Yes.
it was. He talks about the story of him losing an eye because he didn't trust somebody. Or that's the last time he trusted somebody, is when he lost his eye. And then Captain Marvel, like, completely made a joke out of that, and, like, it didn't match up at all. So I didn't like Nick Fury in it. I thought it was an okay origin for a superhero that we really haven't seen much of since then. So we've seen the Marvels, and she's a little bit in Endgame, but, like, she's kind of been off the radar. So I think they wanted her to be this really strong female lead for the MCU. And it really didn't pan out like that. So it's a little disappointing, but it's about what I thought it would be. Number 33, with another 4 out of 10, I have The Eternals. I have only seen this movie once, so I don't have a lot to say about this. I just thought it was a very bland movie. They were trying to introduce a team in the MCU other than the Avengers. I believe this was 2021. I believe this was before or right around when they bought the rights to Fox. So they couldn't officially use X-Men characters yet. So they were trying to give another team besides Avengers. They tried it with the Eternals. Didn't really hit. We're going to move into number 32 with my last 4 out of 10 on this list. It's The Incredible Hulk. I think some of the action in this movie is good. Abomination's great. It's boring. And a lot of the bottom tier MCU movies is just like you're watching a movie with no plot but with heavy, heavy action. So like to me, it's kind of like Transformers. So if you've seen the Transformers movies, you know what I'm talking about. I love Transformers as a franchise just because it has some of the best CGI and some of the best action out of any movie ever. Seeing giant metal robots fighting in the middle of Chicago is an awesome thing to watch on a movie. But the Transformers movies, besides the first one, really they don't have any plot. The first one had some sort of a plot. Everything after was just kind of the same movie. Just watch a giant robot fighting in the middle of Chicago, in the middle of the city, wherever it takes place. So that's kind of how I compare a lot of these bottom tier MCU movies. No plot, lots of action. You'll be entertained, but it's kind of boring when you're not getting those action sequences. Moving into number 31, I have Black Widow with a 5 out of 10. So for me, this is just like a bad to mid-tier MCU movie. I was actually excited when she was getting her own movie. It was a little confusing because they didn't market it as a prequel at first, and so she got killed in Endgame, but everybody knew that Black Widow was in production, so they were like, how's she dead and this movie's in production? And then it was revealed, okay, this is a prequel, takes place around Civil War, I think shortly after Civil War. I mean, there's some good parts to the movie. Ultimately, the reason it's so low for me is because Taskmaster was just a disappointment of a villain. They made her horrible in the MCU, and so that's really why it's so low for me. Coming in at number 30 with another 5 out of 10, I have The Marvels. I like this better than Captain Marvel. I think for me, Miss Marvel carries it. I think Kamala Khan is great in this movie. I have not seen the TV show, but I think she's great in this movie, and she carries it heavily. She kind of has that goofy, energetic kind of personality. Makes this a more enjoyable watch for me, or it would be much lower. I hate MCU movies that don't follow through on their post-credit scenes, though. And this post-credit scene was of Monica Rambeau being stuck in the X-Men universe. And as far as we know, nothing's happened with that yet. It might happen in Doomsday, but I just don't like movies where you leave it on a cliffhanger and there's no follow-up. So 5 out of 10, decent movie, some entertaining action sequences, but for the most part, just bland. Coming in at number 29, I have Iron Man 2 with a 5 out of 10. So for me, big drop off from the first Iron Man movie. Bit of a disappointment for me when I saw it for the first time. Whiplash is okay. He's not a great villain. He's certainly not the worst villain, but everything in this movie is kind of more grounded, which the beginning of the MCU was. I just feel like the plot was a bit of a mess. I do like the introduction for Black Widow, though. I thought they did good with that. So ultimately, it's about a 5 out of 10 movie for me. So with that, we're going to start going back and forth. So Logan's going to give his number 29.
My 29 is Captain Marvel at a 4 out of 10.
Okay.
And here's the reason why. If I can get to my review. Sorry, guys. I said, not my favorite film, and I always hate to watch it. So I watch Marvel movies in chronological order, and so it's Captain America, the first Avenger, and then it's Captain Marvel. And I hate it. I really do. Sort of same things that you said. So how Nick Fury gets his eye patch is dumb. It's because of a cat. Yes, a cat. Love seeing Nick put together the Phase 1 case file of like, here's Iron Man, here's Thor, Captain America. I love that. And like forming the future Avengers. But Brie Larson, I think this is maybe one of the only good films she's in. I don't know. But that's what I have at the bottom of my list.
There you go. Coming in at number 28 for me, and this might be low for some people. I think a lot of people do like this movie. Ant-Man and the Wasp. I have that at a 5 out of 10. I thought it was a significant drop-off from the first Ant-Man movie, just like Iron Man 2 I thought was a significant drop-off. It has the curse of sequelitis. It's a little bit too goofy, a little bit too funny. Ghost was not the best villain. There's some high points. I like a lot of the interaction between Scott and his daughter, between Scott and Hope, but It's just too goofy of a movie for me at
Yeah.
the end of the day. So 5 out of 10.
At 28 for me, I have Thor: The Dark World.
Hmm.
I before this, I was always I like it. I like this film. It's one of my favorites, but after thinking about all these 29 films, it really does not measure up. I said, not a bad film, but very fluffy. It has a lot of bits you could skip over and just get rid of.
Yeah.
Jane finds the Infinity Stone. What? Zachary Levi is good. I love Zachary Levi. And Thor kills Korg's dad. I learned that when he spins his hammer and kills the rock dude.
That's not officially confirmed to be Thor's dad, but it's funny to think of it that way.
Yeah, or family member, which is funny. Malekith, the main villain, is okay as an MCU villain, and Loki yet again sacrifices himself. I see a pattern here, and it's interesting. Thor's great and Loki's great, but everybody else is just not the best, and so it's at a 5 out of 10 for me. That's the start of okay MCU movies.
Yep. Okay. You're done with that?
Yeah.
So number 27, I have at a 6 out of 10, Wakanda Forever. For me, I've never been as high on the Black Panther movies. I think Chadwick Boseman was a great cast for Black Panther. I think
Mhm.
you couldn't have done better than that. It's tragic what happened to him, how he wasn't able to come back for this movie. They had to make a pivot. Understandably, it's not their vision for what this movie was supposed to be, but they had to switch it up. I hate how they gave him a son, though, at the end of that movie. I don't think that honors him at all. It just feels like you're trying to cheaply replace him with, hey, let's give him a son in this movie. Then by the next movie, the son will be old enough and he can just take over and it'll be okay. I didn't like that decision. Shuri is an okay side character for me. She is not a main character at all. She just doesn't captivate you on the screen. So for me, Namor's really cool though. I like Namor, but for me, it's a 6 out of 10.
At 27 for me, I have Ant-Man and the Wasp. At a 5 out of 10. So we agree on a lot. I said not a bad film, just worse than the first Ant-Man movie. Ghost is not a good villain. And exploring the quantum realm to find Hank's wife / OG Wasp is all right. Evangeline's Wasp is a good character. I love Hope. I think that's a good character. And the supporting cast is great. Lewis, and his stories of I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy. It's the funniest out of that, and I love Paul Rudd and his Ant-Man. But overall, the film is just, it's an
Yeah,
it's an
very much so.
yeah.
All right, moving into 26. With another 6 out of 10, I have the first Black Panther movie. So they kind of coincide with each other with me. I think it's better than Wakanda Forever by a smidge. But I still think it has some major flaws. Some of the CGI is really bad. Some of the fights, you can just completely tell this is not realistic at all. This is very heavy CGI, especially that final fight, if you know what I'm talking about. I do like Killmonger. I think he's the highlight of this movie, along with Chadwick Boseman. Just not my thing. And I can understand if it is your thing or if it's culturally relevant to you. I can understand that, and that can make it way higher for you. But it's just not my thing. I have it at a 6 out of 10. By no means bad, like terrible, but just not upper tier MCU for me.
For 20, what are we on?
6.
6. I have Black Widow.
Okay.
And it's a 5 out of 10. So it's an okay movie. Seen it once and it's okay.
Yeah.
Not a horrible backstory, but Taskmaster brings this movie down as a terrible villain, as well as the main evil dude / woman. I couldn't decide who the head person was in Black Widow. I like Taskmaster in the first Insomniac Spider-Man game. I think they did Taskmaster really great as a side quest, but this movie just doesn't do it for me. I think Florence Pugh is a good actor for Black Widow's sister.
Yeah.
She's great, and her comedy does bring this film up for me. But it's an okay origin movie for me.
Perfect. All right, moving into number 25. I have another 6 out of 10. This time it is Thor, the first Thor. For me, I thought this was an okay movie. I think it's good enough to watch a few times and be entertained. For me, it's one of those movies though that gets boring after more boring after every rewatch. So for me, I love the relationship between Thor and Loki. I love Thor having to humble himself and come to realize what he really is and what his potential is and what he's supposed to be. Um, I think it's an okay movie. It's a good movie. I have it at a 6 out of 10.
Awesome. At number 25, sorry guys. At number 25, I have Iron Man 2 at a 5 out of 10, another 5 out of 10. Said definitely the worst out of the 3 Iron Man movies. Better upgraded suits and an improved actor for Rhodey. I love Don Cheadle. Don't really like the first guy from Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
So I think they did great with that. Like you said, introduction to Black Widow is nice, and Happy getting his butt kicked was funny. When they're in the boxing ring, I think that's really good. But Justin Hammer and Vanko, or Whiplash, are not really good villains.
Yeah.
I like Rhodes and Tony's force fight when they have like lasers and then they like spin in a circle and it just destroys all the robots. I think that was one of the best things of the movie, but it's definitely the worst out of the 3 for me. So yeah,
For sure. For sure. All right, going into number 24. I have another 6 out of 10, and I think this is the first one that is going to upset people potentially, but we will see. I have Spider-Man Homecoming. I'm not a huge fan of the Tom Holland Spider-Man trilogy. We already discussed this last episode of the podcast, but if you are tuning in for the first time, not a huge fan of it. I understand this is the youngest take on Spider-Man that we have seen up to this point. It just doesn't work for me. It's too silly. He makes way too many mistakes without learning lessons from them. And to me, that's what makes the movie bad. You can have mistakes. It is okay to be a coming of age Spider-Man story and have, okay, I messed up on this, but you need to have an overcoming moment. And a lot of people are like, oh, but he holds the rubble up and he pushes the rubble up. That's not a big enough moment for me.
Yeah.
It needs to be some big moment where you get that light bulb click. Oh, this is what I do. I am the hero. This is the responsibility I have to take. I can't take everything as a joke. This is what I have to do. And that just never happens. To me, Vulture beats himself at the end of the movie. Yeah. He doesn't beat Vulture. He doesn't learn anything throughout this movie. And so for me, I have it at a 6 out of 10.
Yeah. For my 24, I have at a 5 out of 10. My last 5 out of 10, The Incredible Hulk.
Okay.
I said it's decent. Abomination is a good villain. I think is the best Abomination adaptation. I think we saw some in
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk. All right. I haven't seen that, so I can't say that. But Bruce Banner not trying to crash out and turn himself into the Hulk is interesting. Heart rate monitor is a cool device. And CGI stinks, but for its time, it's not bad. I think very serious. I hate the guy that later turns into the leader.
Yeah.
I don't like him. But Ross is a good actor for Ross, who turns into the Red Hulk.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not bad, but definitely it's an for me.
I will say, and I love Harrison Ford, but I do not like him as Thunderbolt Ross. He doesn't do it for me. I know I finished already about Brave New World. That was several rankings down the list, but Harrison Ford, that did not work for me.
No, I like the original Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah,
for me.
You could also tell that Harrison Ford wasn't into it at all. He was just collecting a paycheck.
Yeah.
Because like in running up to the movie and interviews and stuff, they were asking him about his experience, and he was just like, I don't know. Like, kind of like with Force Awakens, he didn't want to be Han Solo.
No.
Like he did not want to come back for that. So you can obviously tell he did not care about the MCU at all. Like there's actors that take it like so seriously, like they know that they have a part in this and that this is a universe that people love. And then there's Harrison Ford that's just like, I'm here to make money. Screw this.
Yeah, and he's a great. Sorry, I'm backtracking, but I mean he's a great actor. Love Han Solo. Love Indiana Jones. But when an actor is done playing a character or doesn't want to be a character, and then they're quote unquote forced to, and they just do it because they're getting paid to do it, I think that brings the movie down a lot.
And Harrison Ford shot himself in the foot, honestly, with his career, with saying that he wanted Han Solo to die. Because when he killed himself off, what happened? Oh, he wasn't getting other movies. He wasn't getting other jobs. So what did he have to do? He had to come back as Indiana Jones for another Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
That was over. They're probably not going to make another one. So what did he have to do? Oh, I'm just going to cash a paycheck and I'll be Red Hulk.
Yeah.
He's doing stuff for money now. He's not doing stuff for the love of acting, and you can clearly tell it with his characters. Anyway.
What's your 23?
Moving into 23, I have, with a 6 out of 10, Spider-Man Far From Home. For me, a lot of people have this as their least favorite MCU Spider-Man movie. I have it just above Homecoming. I think it's entertaining enough. I think it's more entertaining than Homecoming is. I think there's some better action, some better fights. A lot of people thought that the Mysterio thing, like being a good guy at the beginning and then being revealed to be the bad guy, everybody was like, oh, you're not fooling us. We know he's a bad guy. Because like in the marketing, he wasn't a bad guy in any trailer. All the trailers, he was portrayed as a good guy. So people were like, oh, we know he's a bad guy. They can't trick us. That bothered a lot of people. It didn't bother me because, yes, we know the backstory of Mysterio. We know that he's a bad guy. But it worked good in the movie because obviously Spider-Man in this movie does not know that he's a bad guy. I do think, again, Tom Holland makes some immature decisions, that Spider-Man makes some bad decisions. The one thing that makes it better than Homecoming for me is I feel like at the end of this movie, he has learned a little bit how to overcome these bad decisions that he's made. I feel like that's not something we got in Homecoming. I do like I will never call it the Peter Tingle, it is Spider Sense. I do like how at the end with his Spider Sense, he can sense Mysterio behind him with the gun and he reaches back. I do like that. So I have it just a notch above Homecoming. Still not my favorite, but entertaining enough where I would watch it again.
For my 23 list spot, at a 6 out of 10, so this is where I get like, it's a decent movie.
Yeah.
I have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Okay.
I said not a bad Doctor Strange movie, but the whole voodoo possession tone of the film, I can't with that. I think that just made me cringe or just like tense up in the movie theater.
Yeah.
I love the Illuminati members. I love Patrick Stewart. I love those people, but I hate Mordo, that guy. I don't like him. And the chick from Captain Marvel. I don't like her either.
Rambeau.
Yeah, I don't like them. I love Patrick Stewart in Captain America, the Peggy Carter version.
Yeah.
The death scene was Captain Britain. But the death scene is dumb.
Yeah.
I think that brings the whole film down for me. Like giving away Black Bolt's powers to Wanda was not.
They made the Illuminati a joke.
Yes, yes, and Reed trying to connect with Wanda. I thought that was just immature.
Yeah.
I love John Krasinski and his take on Reed Richards. I wish we got more of him because I can really see the potential in him. But this death was just not the best.
Yeah.
I love the dog dude, the guy who keeps returning from Spider-Man movies.
Well, he's in Sam Raimi movies.
Yes.
So it's not just Spider-Man movies. Every movie that Sam Raimi directs, I think he has been in.
And side note, I think I heard something from like Spider-Man 2 or 3 that like he was supposed to be Mysterio.
No, he was.
Yeah. I wish we got that. But anyways, back to my thing. I love the hot dog dude. And Strange's third eye in that in-credit scene chick is gross. I hate the third eye. I don't like that chick.
Yeah.
So I think it's a decent movie, but we'll only see it once. Yeah. So yeah.
All right, number 22 for me. I have with a 6 out of 10, The Punisher: One Last Kill. It was technically a Disney Plus special, not a movie, but I'm throwing it in my list. Um, I don't really know what it is, to be honest, and that's part of the problem with it for me. It feels like the pilot episode of a TV show that we're not getting more episodes to. And so, like, yeah, it's entertaining. There's some cool stuff. It's cool to see him as Punisher again. It's been like 8 years. So, like, yeah, that's really cool to see him as Punisher again. But, like, it feels like it's setting up a TV show. It feels like the first episode of a season of television. And then it just ends. And it's like, okay, I don't know how to feel about that. And some of the CGI was pretty bad as well. So I thought it was entertaining enough to be a 6. But yeah, some of that other stuff just brings it down.
Yeah. All right, for my 22,
Yeah.
I had to rechange my list a little bit because Letterboxd gives you a weird list after you rate stuff. So I have Thor Ragnarok. It's a 6 out of 10. Honestly, a solid movie. Love Korg and Loki becoming more like a quote unquote hero slash anti hero.
Yeah.
I love his development through the Thor movies. Is great. The get help scene is like the funniest out of that scene, out of like the movie, as well as Thor getting in the Quinjet and being like strongest Avenger. I think the humor in this, though a lot of people say this is a horrible movie, I think it is a decent movie. Sure, the comedy kind of brings it down a little bit and some of the fluff, but it is great. I love when Loki in the arena, he's like, "That's how it feels." With Thor versus Hulk, and this setting up Infinity War is awesome.
Yeah.
I think when you watch this and then watch Infinity War, it connects so perfectly. I honestly forget the middle bits of the film. Doctor Strange is funny in this movie with Loki's falling for 30 minutes. I think this has one of the best meme movies, but it definitely is still a decent movie more than most. So that's what I have.
Cool. Number 21 with another 6 out of 10. I have Iron Man 3. I like this better than Iron Man 2. It is still significantly worse than Iron Man 1. I wish this trilogy was better because based off the first movie, you were like, this is going to be an all-time trilogy. 2 is horrible. 3 is just like, the Mandarin's a complete joke. I hate movies where the villains are just treated as complete jokes. That's a lot of it. I still think that Tony Stark is a very intriguing character to watch his progression on the big screen. I think it's entertaining enough. I don't really like a lot of the Pepper Potts stuff. I don't like her. I don't like Gwyneth Paltrow or whatever her name is. I don't really like her, but it's an entertaining enough movie. It's a 6 out of 10 for me.
Now this is where we kind of differ a little bit, and we always have. But for my 21, I have Spider-Man: Far From Home with a 6 out of 10. I said it's a good film, but, and this is gonna make people mad, I said it's the worst out of the 3 movies for Tom Holland.
I think a lot of people agree with that.
Spidey's in London and he's irresponsible. I like the globe-trotting adventures, but where he's Spider-Man, New York, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, street level stuff, I love that. I think then putting him in space with like Infinity War, and we'll get to that. I think that works, but where it's just Spider-Man, I think Spider-Man should be in New York a little bit.
Yeah.
Giving Tony's glasses to Mysterio, are you kidding me? He makes a lot of mistakes in this, and I get it. I mean, after Tony's death in Endgame, he's seeking for another mentor, and Mysterio's quote unquote the guy.
Yeah.
But he's just so blindsided that he's grieving Tony so much that he's just taking the next person in without using his brain.
Yeah.
You don't know that guy, and Tony gave you this for your responsibility. Still grieving Tony, and I'm not dogging on it, but come on. Love the Peter Tingle / Spidey sense.
Yeah.
I love that. I think him developing over the films is good. to grab the gun from Mysterio. Dude still finds a way to send out Spider-Man's identity. I think at the end you're like, Spider-Man won. He's great, but Mysterio just gives one last shot, and he's like, "This is Spider-Man," and he's like, "WTF?"
So I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot about that. That is another problem I have with that movie. Is that is a significant enough moment in that movie where it needs to be in the movie. It's an end credit scene.
Yeah.
It is not the end of the movie. It's an end credit scene.
Uh-huh.
And so for me, it's like that literally sets up No Way Home. You can't have that be an end credit scene. That is important enough to be in the movie because now if you watch it over again and you're just watching the movies in order, you go from Far From Home to No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
If you skip the end credit scene, you don't see that happen. And I guess they show it a little bit in the beginning of No Way Home.
Yeah.
But to me, that's another thing I have with that movie. Like, that shouldn't have been an end credit scene. That should have been at the end of the movie.
And J. Jonah Jameson is back. I love that guy. I think he's great. But yeah, at a 6 out of 10, Far From Home is 21 for me.
There you go. All right, number 20. So we are officially in our top 20 of the MCU.
Yay.
And he's going to hate me a little bit for this.
Why?
With a 6 out of 10, I have Captain America, the First Avenger.
Oh, I knew that.
So for me, it is top 20 MCU. It's an okay movie. It's enjoyable to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It is not near as good as the other two Captain America, the first two Captain America movies. It's better than the last one. But it's not near as good as Winter Soldier or Civil War. It's an okay origin. It's not my favorite MCU origin, but it's a doable origin. I think I have it like third on my origins list for MCU, but it's somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Red Skull, kind of a bland villain. I think he's cool in concept, but yet again, they don't use him a lot.
Yeah.
And they tried to bring him back for Infinity War and Endgame, and that was actually
a different person, right?
Yeah, it was a different actor.
Yeah.
And that was kind of interesting, actually. I like what they did with that. MCU, that's a lot of my critique about the MCU, though, that you'll hear from me a lot on this podcast. They have a villain problem. They have a one-and-done villain problem where they don't reuse villains and they kill people off. And I understand with Red Skull, you kind of have to because this movie takes place so far before the main MCU timeline, so you kind of had to do that. I just don't think he was enough in this movie, though. The highlight of the movie, though, for me is Chris Evans, Steve Rogers, and Sebastian Stan's Bucky Barnes. And those two people make the movie for me.
Yes. My 20.
Yep.
I have Iron Man 3.
Okay.
With a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
So still a decent movie. I said love Aldrich Killian as a villain. I think he's great. Even though his origins as him being forgotten by Tony Stark is a bit forgetting and confusing at times.
Yeah.
You kind of forget about him. Pepper's arc of saving Tony is good. I think
that's a part I don't like of it.
You don't like that one. I kind of like that because it's I really her and she's definitely better than Kirsten Dunst's MJ.
It's comparable for me. That's a very good comparison for me.
But she's still trash. I don't like her. But her saving Tony is good. And Happy's quote unquote death is interesting. Tony getting back to the basics of forging a suit out of Home Depot
is cool. That was cool.
Are so cool. And I wish Harley, so the little kid, I wish he was the new upcoming Iron Man going hand in hand with Spider-Man instead of that girl in Ironheart.
Yeah.
He had potential and they kind of just wasted him. Yeah. I think he should have been at least an Iron Man successor or just like how they do like Young Justice, like a Young Avengers thing with Tom Holland, Spider-Man, and him.
And Young Avengers is a comic line.
Yeah.
So
I totally didn't know that. So I wish he was in there.
And there were rumors actually after Endgame, because like Marvel didn't really have a plan at first. Mm-hmm. There were rumors they were going to do an Avengers and then a Young Avengers. Yeah. Because Young Avengers is a thing in the comics. They ended up going with Thunderbolts and Avengers, which is now the new Avengers and Avengers. So they still did kind of like the two different team storyline, but they just scrapped the Young Avengers.
Well, and he was in Endgame with Tony's funeral.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to mine. I said the ending with him throwing his arc reactor into the sea and him blowing up all of his suits was fantastic. I love that scene because it shows Tony just does like Tony doesn't need all these suits. Yes, he loves upgrading, he loves getting new tech, but he doesn't need all this to be Iron Man.
Yeah.
And the PTSD was so like understandable. I think him still having like PTSD from Avengers is great.
Yeah.
And I said Ben Kingsley as Trevor was really funny. As the Mandarin, I know we hate him, but he's great.
I like him in Shang-Chi.
Yeah, and I'm about
I don't like him in Iron Man. I don't like how they ruined the Mandarin Iron Man
Yeah.
3, but when they revealed the real Mandarin in
Mhm.
Shang-Chi and he was just kind of the joke,
Yeah.
he was good in that.
Yeah.
I liked that. Moving into that, number 19, with a 7 out of 10, I have Shang-Chi.
Wow.
So that's a good moving point right into that. 7 out of 10, my first 7 out of 10 on this list. I thought it was an enjoyable movie. I thought the action's really cool. Some of the best fight scenes we've seen in the MCU. The fight with the dragon at the end is really cool.
Mhm.
The fight on the bus at the beginning of the
Wow.
movie, that is really cool. There's some forgettable characters in this, but yes, yeah. But no, I think Simu Liu does a great job as Shang-Chi. I'm sad this movie came out in 2021. Like that was 5 years ago now, and we haven't seen him since. He should have been the future of the MCU
Yeah.
in my eyes.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they were doing. I'm glad that Destin Daniel Cretton's doing Brand New Day. But I'm like, why has he not been able to make a Shang-Chi 2? Why has Marvel not greenlit that? I'm excited to see what he does in Doomsday. But yeah, that was really kind of like, why have you not made a Shang-Chi 2? It's been 5 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, 7 out of 10, enjoyable movie for me.
At number 19 for my first 7 out of 10, and this is going to make people mad, Fantastic Four and the First Steps.
Ooh.
And the reason why I said this is you and I saw this together, and I've only seen it once. Some of these, I've only seen them once. And if I watch them again, my list will change. I guarantee that. But the reason why I said this is I think I dog on this film too much. It's a good quote unquote classic film.
Yeah.
As in the tone of it, as a like Incredibles or feel to it.
Mm.
The whole movie is Johnny Storm proving he is smart by like solving equations. I love Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, and Ben is cool. I love the actor for Ben. I had really low hopes for him, and he stepped up for that. Finally, a worthy opponent. I said this because this is a better Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer movie. I think this is better than the 2000 something
like 5,
yeah
2006,
7. I think 2007. Yeah,
somewhere around there.
And love the car seat post credit scene. That's like really great for me. When how many guys does it take to put in a car seat?
I think that was the last scene of the movie.
Or this last
I don't think
scene.
it was in credit, but yeah,
I don't think
funny.
no, I don't think it was post credits.
It was funny though.
I think that was great. And as well as like the post credit, because the post credit sets up Doomsday.
Yeah.
I love that. And then I hope for Doomsday they kind of do like with Spider-Man and like here's what happened, because I don't think a lot of people is gonna watch Fantastic Four, but I don't know if they're gonna like remember it. I don't know, but it's a low good film. This is like my list for good films. 7 out of 10. It's a good film.
Yeah, I think that's very fair.
Even though it's like number 19 on my list.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I think that's okay. All right. We are going to move for me into number 18. Another 7 out of 10. I have Thor Ragnarok. So I think it's an enjoyable movie.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of any of the Thor movies. I think all 4 of them have their flaws.
Yeah.
This one, just like Love and Thunder, can be a little too goofy at times, but I think it does balance the goofiness and seriousness enough. Good enough. So my favorite part of this movie is the relationship between Thor and Loki and how that progresses. And then it sets it up as they're buddy now. They're actually brothers that get along now and love each other. And then that stabs you right in the heart in Infinity War when they open it up with killing Loki. That is the reason that scene can bear so much emotional weight, is because of how Ragnarok set up their relationship.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's my favorite part of the movie. And after seeing Infinity War, it makes it even better.
Yeah.
This is all my major critique of this movie is the goofiness, and this is what started the downfall of MCU Hulk.
Oh yeah.
So Hulk and Incredible Hulk, and then in Avengers and Avengers Age of Ultron was the
Great.
Savage Hulk very good. What we like to see out of Hulk. This is the first movie that kind of goofed him up a little bit. He wasn't smart Hulk yet, but they made him goofy.
Yeah.
They made him have a bit more of a personality that Hulk's not really supposed to have.
Yeah.
And that led to the demise of Hulk in the MCU. I'm hopeful Brand New Day can bring back the Savage Hulk and make him great again.
Yeah.
But this movie kind of started the downfall of Hulk.
Make Hulk great again.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
All right. For my 18 spot,
Okay.
have Guardians 3 as a
Wow.
what did I put? 7 out of 10? I think 7 out of 10.
Wow.
I gave it originally like a 6 out of 10, but
Okay.
I think I brought it up because Marv they messed up my list. I said definitely not. This is gonna hate people. I said definitely not one of the best out of the trilogy. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the Guardians, but Star-Lord just doesn't seem like himself in this film.
Okay.
I get like him like dying in or like about to die and they try to bring him back and everything. But just the tone of this just doesn't suit it for me. Rocket Raccoon's backstory is interesting. I love that, and it's a lot of what you said about one of the earlier films it's very emotional. It's very emotional for me. But I hate the high evolutionary. He's a robot, and I hate him. Love the first F word scene in this movie with the doorknob and just James Gunn like this is going to be the first F word. I think that's great, but I hate the new Gamora. And I get the whole timeline something confusing in there. I don't really like her.
I will say though, and I'll get into my major thoughts about this movie when I get to it. I do like how they moved her away from Peter Quill though.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's going to set up his character really good going forward in the MCU. For Doomsday or Secret Wars or whatever he ends up being in next. I think it's good that they actually had him move on from her and have her move on from him.
Yeah.
I like that.
But to wrap things up on mine, I said Adam Warlock is a great supporting character. I love Adam Warlock. Don't really like his mom as the golden lady from Volume 2.
Yeah.
But I love Sean Gunn's Kraglin. I love him. And he's one of the best arcs in the movie. His hero arc is great. Trying to live up to Yondu and like his arrow. Like he's like, he still has doubts about like, I don't know if I can live up because I mean Yondu is great, but like what if I mess up really bad?
Yeah.
And he does phenomenally. But that is mine as a 7 out of 10.
Okay. Very good. All right. So we are moving into number 17 for the next 7 movies. 7. We're gonna speed run this kind of.
Yeah.
Top 10. I do want to give really in-depth explanations of why it's in our top 10.
Yeah.
But we do have some more scheduled for this podcast. So for these next 6 or 7 movies, we are going to move on a little bit quicker.
Yep.
So number 17 for me, I have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
All right.
For me, that is the worst in the Guardians trilogy. Still not a bad movie though. I have it at a 7 out of 10. I love Star-Lord and getting to find out how his mom died and just kind of seeing that emotional progression and seeing him as a character. I thought it was an okay, entertaining movie. My major flaw with this movie is kind of with the Thor movie. It's a bit too goofy.
Yeah.
It has a few too many jokes, doesn't take itself as seriously as it needs to at times. So,
as 17, I have Shang-Chi as a 7 out of 10. I said I watched this movie once and I own it on DVD, and it was good. I love the choreography. I said that right this time. And Simu Liu.
Simu Lee.
Okay. Him. I'm so sorry. Is a great.
Shimu Limu. It sounds like the person from Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty Bibberty. Yeah.
Imu Limu. Shimu Limu.
Shimu Lee.
Simu Lee.
Simu Lee. All right. Simu Lee is a great actor, and I love having Ben Kingsley back as Trevor from Iron Man 3. Not bad, and love seeing Wong in this movie.
Mm.
I think the fight scene and everything is really great, and that's what I have.
Okay. Number 16, another 7 out of 10. I have Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool's introduction to the MCU, Wolverine's introduction to the MCU. I thought it was an entertaining movie. It just, not a lot of plot, not a lot. It is pretty much just a buddy cop movie of Deadpool and Wolverine. I think that's okay. I think it does some good things. I think it's funny at times. I love seeing Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Just not a lot of plot to it. You could take this out of the MCU entirely, and you're not missing any big story out of the MCU. Yeah. So I mean, it's okay for what it is. It just does not have a huge place in the MCU. I have it at a 7 out of 10.
Yeah. And so as I have for 16, I have Black Panther as a 7 out of 10. Still a good movie. It's very overrated. I'm not going to get into like either the politics or just like the tone of this movie. If you like this is great, but I think it is a little low for me. Don't get me wrong, I love Black Panther coming back and after Civil War.
Yeah.
But the whole movie is Killmonger is a decent villain, but I love Martin Freeman and Andy Serkis carrying the film for me. I think both of them are great. And Chadwick Boseman is Black Panther.
Yeah.
I don't think there will be, and quote me on this or not, I don't think there will be an actor that will suffice Chadwick Boseman.
No.
I think, I agree with you. I think Shuri is a good supporting character.
Yeah.
As well as M'Baku. Yeah. I love that tribe and just him as a character. But the whole like water, like notch kill system, whatever, I don't like that. Mm-hmm. So it kind of brings that down for me a little bit. But
yeah,
decent movie, good movie.
All right, moving into number 15 for me, another 7 out of 10. I have Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
All right.
I like this movie a little bit more than the majority of people. I don't think it's top tier, but I think it's 7 out of 10, okay movie. Yes, there was some disappointments with what this was marketed to be versus what this turned out to be. One thing, though, that I did enjoy is a lot of people thought it was just going to be a cameo fest. I remember back in the early days of development of this movie, there were some people theorizing we could see Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man again in this, because this came out after No Way Home. That didn't happen. I thought a lot of people thought that it was just going to be a movie full of cameos. Didn't turn out being that way. I was glad about that. Illuminati, they make a joke out of them. But I thought it was an okay, entertaining enough movie. I love Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange, and he's the main focus of this movie, which I'm glad about, because I thought at first it was just going to be a lot of cameos. Yeah. So,
as 15 on my list, I have Spider-Man Homecoming as a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
I said Spider-Man is back from Captain America Civil War. Better than I remember, and even though him being babysat by first an empty Iron Man suit and then the real Tony, I think it does make sense after getting hurt in Civil War. He got really hurt in the airport, and so him trying to now be okay. I don't want to get this kid hurt again. We're gonna monitor him. I get that. Over the course of the movie, he has to learn how to be independent and responsible. I think the whole getting the tracker out, I think that's in Far From Home.
No, that's in Homecoming.
Homecoming? I get that. And be responsible for the little things. He's friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's got to take care of the little guys. He can't just do the big things all the time. He can't go to the airport or to like outer space. He's not ready. And funny line would be, okay, Spider-Man, do a flip from that guy on the building. And he's like, do a flip. MJ is all right. MJ is all right, and Ned is good. Flash ain't no bully as like Tobey Maguire's and Andrew's universe, but I think he was good. And the warehouse boredom scene I think is funny. Him just being like, Karen, what do I do? And so yeah, decent movie. Yeah.
I think we have some disagreements about that. But
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah. Unless he did those.
I just feel like everything that happened in that movie that was bad was his fault.
Yeah. The boat. Yeah.
The boat was his fault. The Washington Monument was his fault. I don't know. I just feel like there's too much that he screwed up in that movie and didn't make up for.
Yeah, you're losing brain cells.
Okay, anyway, going into number 14, my first 8 out of 10 on this list, I have the first Ant-Man movie.
All right.
I find this as a very enjoyable movie. It's one of those movies that I think balances the comedy with the action well. I love Scott Lang. I love Paul Rudd as him. I touched on this a bit when we talked about Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I love his relationship with his daughter.
Yeah.
I just think overall it's a very enjoyable, funny movie.
Yeah.
And it sets up an important character in the MCU that without him, Endgame would have been a very different movie. So
for number 14, I've got Guardians 2.
Okay.
As another 7 out of 10. It's a good film.
Okay.
I like this a little bit less than Guardians 1, but it is very lovely. Yondu and his Ravengers from the beginning to end is a great arc, and Ego is a good villain. Peter and Gamora's relationship is good, but I love Nebula's bond with Gamora through this film. I think they get to know each other a little bit more and grow closer. Drax and Mantis are funny in this.
Yeah.
And Rocket and Little Groot are fantastic. I like the bomb scene, and he's like, "Push this button," and he's like, "No, you're gonna kill us all." I think that's great. As well as like Mary Poppins and the battery scene from the beginning is good.
Yeah.
And the plot twist at the end is great. Learning that Ego killed Peter's mom. And then I like Yondu's death scene. I think it's sad, and his line of, "Sure, he was your father, but he wasn't like your dad or daddy." Or I love that bond between Yondu and Peter.
Yeah.
And just people now recognizing Yondu for who he is. Because at the beginning, Sylvester Stallone was like, he ain't getting no like funeral, and at the end he does.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. I think that's what I got.
Yondu's my favorite character out of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I do like that. Yeah. All right, number 13. Speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, I have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This is an 8 out of 10 movie for me. I think the movie's okay. I think the plot is okay. I think the action brings this movie up quite a bit. I love the final fight scene. I actually thought that they were going to kill off Star-Lord.
Yeah.
And then he ends up surviving. But I do like how they kind of split the Guardians up at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
They showed James Gunn's Guardians era of the MCU is over. Peter Quill is still going to have a future in the MCU, but the Guardians of the Galaxy are done as a team. I thought it was a very good farewell movie. I thought some parts of the movie were a little too boring for me, but I thought it was a good farewell to the team.
Yeah. As number 13, I've got the first Thor movie.
Okay.
As another 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Thor is an arrogant prince / king for like 2/3 of this movie. I hate that. Just like with somebody else in the movie is like, or MCU is arrogant, and then like they learn not to be. But by the end, he really is the prince of Asgard, or new king, learning to overcome his pride, just like later MCU Spidey. Loki is a great villain and love the supporting cast. Excuse me. Don't really like some of the supporting characters, but intro to S.H.I.E.L.D. is cool.
Yeah.
I love them like stealing Jane's tech and then just them trying to like get it back. But I think Thor, Chris Hemsworth is Thor.
Yeah.
And sure, some people don't like Phase 1. I think Phase 1 is decent.
To me, you can have good characters and bad movies.
Yeah.
For me, Chris Hemsworth is one of those characters. My highest Thor movie, I gave a 7 out of 10. I have a Thor movie that's a 2 out of 10, or a 4 out of 10. But for me, even though he's in like not my favorite movies in the MCU, Chris Hemsworth
Yeah.
is goated as Thor.
So that's what I have.
Okay. Number 12, with another 8 out of 10, I have The Thunderbolts. I think this is a very entertaining movie. I thought last year was a very good year for superhero movies.
Mhm.
I know the box office didn't show that quite well because people have seen so much slop recently. They're like, do I even want to go watch these? But last year, I think, did bring up superhero movies quite a bit.
Yeah.
Between this, Superman, and Fantastic Four. I thought Thunderbolts was a very enjoyable movie.
Mhm.
This was my least excited superhero movie going into last year, and I came out of it being like pleasantly surprised. I think The Void is very good in this movie. I think the team, you can feel the connection that we haven't been able to feel since the first Avengers movie when
Yeah.
the Avengers team first came together.
Yeah.
And I thought it was very well done. I like how the end of the movie sets up they're fighting against Sam Wilson's Avengers for copyright infringement because they call themselves the New Avengers. And then Sam Wilson's like, well, we're the Avengers, so you can't call yourself the Avengers. And I just think that's a little funny.
Yeah.
I like how it sets up the future of the MCU.
Mhm.
I'm excited to see these characters again in Doomsday.
Yeah. As 12 for me, I have the first Iron Man movie as my last 7 out of 10 film.
Ooh, that's low.
But it's better, but it is good for where it's at, and then
Okay.
you'll see where I put the others, I think. Or I really said, really a 7.5 out of 10. Loved Tony Stark building a suit with a box of scraps.
Yeah.
The first MCU film in the National Film Registry, I really loved that as of 2022. And haven't seen it in a while, and there's some fluff in there.
Yeah.
But I really like him. All right, this is Iron Man, Tony Stark, and as you kind of hear from like the news, he just got like what out of prison or whatever.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got out of prison, and so like nobody really trusts him, and so this is like one of his first films to prove people
Yeah,
wrong.
no, he had some drug problems in the past and had some stuff he had to overcome.
Yeah.
Nobody was wanting to give him jobs, and Jon Favreau, who directed this movie, was like, "I will not make this movie unless you let me hire him."
Yeah,
Marvel took the swing,
and they scored on it.
It hit
and
off. Yep.
I like that. So as a 7.5 out of 10, Iron Man 1 is there.
I think that's a little low, but
Yeah.
it's your list. Moving into number 11, I have Doctor Strange, the first Doctor Strange movie. This is my first 9 out of 10 on my list. And I will actually just go ahead and say all the rest of the movies are 9 out of 10 for me. I don't think there's a perfect MCU movie.
Yeah.
So moving forward, it is 9 out of 10s for me.
Mm-hmm.
So Doctor Strange, again, I really like Benedict Cumberbatch. I think he's the perfect cast for that role. I think the movie is enjoyable. I think the music is really enjoyable.
Yeah.
That's one thing with movies that maybe I'm different from a lot of people, but like the music has to be enjoyable for me to like really like a movie. And the music in this movie is great. His origin is great. Seeing this arrogant, kind of like you said with Thor, this arrogant doctor, like I can do it all. I know it all. See him lose his hands is like incredible because it's like he's a surgeon. He has to have his hands to do surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And so seeing him lose the use of his hands and learning, okay, well I can go become a wizard basically to try to get that back. And then he learns, oh, I have a higher purpose than this.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good movie.
Now, based on how I ranked it on Letterboxd, what we're on 11, it put Endgame there, but I changed my list around to best suit it. At number 11, I have the first Avengers movie. Avengers, not Captain America. It's an 8 out of 10 for me.
Okay.
I think it is really good. It's a solid one. High stakes, big action scenes, and an all-out cast. Mark Ruffalo is good. He's mean and green as Hulk. After Edward Norton's Hulk, the banter between Tony and Steven, like this, they two have very different morals, and just them fighting of like who's right and who's wrong. Take off your suit. Who are you? Is like billionaire, playboy, philanthropist. I think that's great. Shield's secrets about the Tesseract and Hydra. I think that's very like. I think that sets up for a later film, which I will talk about. But I love the humor, like, doth the mother know you weareth her drapes? And, like, the forest. So look that up because I didn't know how to spell that. This is beyond you, Metal Man, because Thor is very different lingo, and Loki is fantastic, and an upgraded villain from his first time with Thor.
Yeah.
I think this film best suits him better. Tony's first sacrifice paid off just like his later one. I think it paid off. If they killed him in this movie, I don't know where the MCU would go after, and I'm glad that he didn't die.
Yeah.
But just him being like, I'm done being arrogant. And Pepper is like, you don't play nice with others.
Yeah.
And he definitely does not play nice. But at the end, he's like, I've got to. This is my role in this team, and I'm willing to sacrifice.
That point in this movie, though, when he's bringing the nuke up into outer space, sets up the rest of the MCU. Without that moment, we would not have gotten to where we have gotten.
Yeah.
Because in Infinity War, when he is on Titan fighting Thanos, Thanos knows who he is because of that moment.
Yeah.
And so I just think it's kind of interesting that kind of set up the MCU going forward. Because Thanos has this respect for Tony Stark because of that moment.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of cool that that all kind of just ties back together.
So there is mine at number 11 with a 8 out of 10.
All right, we're going into our top 10. And this is, I think, the biggest disagreement I have had with you so far on this list. I forget what number you put it at. But at number 10, with a 9 out of 10, I have Fantastic Four First Steps. I think you put that in your 20s.
19.
19, okay.
19.
So number 10, with a 9 out of 10, I have Fantastic Four First Steps.
All right.
For me, I have been a huge Fantastic Four fan my whole life. That is the first team-up superhero movie I've ever watched. So I was not introduced to the X-Men until I was a little bit older. I became a superhero fan before the first Avengers came out. So I was kind of a superhero fan pre-Avengers era, and I hadn't been shown the X-Men movies as a little kid. And so Fantastic Four is what my dad showed me. And I've always been a Fantastic Four fan. The movies have always sucked.
Yeah.
I saw the first two on DVD. I saw Fan Four Stick in theaters opening weekend. What a huge disappointment.
We don't talk about it. Yeah.
But I've been a fan of Fantastic Four my whole life because that's kind of was my childhood. It was Fantastic Four and Spider-Man. Those were like the first superheroes that I was like introduced to. And so for me, it was just so awesome getting to see a Fantastic Four movie done right. Getting to see Galactus done right after that horrible representation in Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer was good. A lot of people don't like that it was a girl. That doesn't bother me. I thought that she was very well done. Galactus is so cool in this movie.
Better in this film, yeah.
The way that how far CGI has come to the way that they can represent him in this film. When they are like in outer space and they travel and they land, and then you see them approaching and you just see his eyes light up. It is the coolest scene in the MCU for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's not my favorite MCU movie, but that scene is the coolest scene in the whole entire MCU. I like it better than the portal scene in Endgame. Like, getting to see Galactus and all of his freaking glory just standing there, eyes lit up, and he's so menacing.
Yeah.
And he just, I want your child. I will leave your Earth alone if you give me your child. And, like, the emotional weight to that, and I thought it was a great movie. I did want to bring up, I wrote it down so I didn't forget, a point that you didn't like in Fantastic Four about the movie being about Johnny trying to be smart because he figures out the puzzle. I think it is a very underrated part of that movie.
Okay.
And let me explain my position on it to you.
All right.
Johnny is always kind of the butt of the joke of the Fantastic Four.
No, I get
In every single Fantastic Four movie, and comics, really, he's the butt of the joke because you have Reed, super smart scientist, Sue, super smart scientist, Ben, super smart scientist, and then Johnny's just the player that gets girls, which they still keep that in this movie because he's trying to hit on Silver Surfer the whole movie. But no, but this movie, he feels like he's the butt of the joke, and he feels like he's not respected by his peers because he's not as smart as they are. And he gets to figure something out that nobody else from the team could figure out and understand. And when at the beginning of the movie, when he was telling Reed about it, Reed brushed him off and was like, yeah, no, we got more important things to focus on right now. And it ended up being the most important part of the movie to figure out how they stopped Galactus.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a very good part of the movie, showing that he feels disrespected as a member of the team but he was the one that figured it out.
Yeah.
And
No,
so
I
I
love
thought
that.
that was
Yeah. I like
I
that.
thought that was great. So I have that movie at a 9 out of 10.
So for number 10 for me, yeah, because we're on 10.
Yep.
I have the first Guardians movie.
Okay.
It's another 8 out of 10. I said Chris Pratt is Star-Lord.
Mm.
He is Star-Lord. I love the 70s feel to the film with the music. You were talking about music with Doctor Strange. I think having this guy who grew up in like the 70s and the 80s and everything, this music is all for him.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's great. Yondu, like what you said, is my favorite character. I love this one, and he captures Star-Lord, and Star-Lord's like, "You wanted to eat me," and he's like, "I wanted to save you." You know, I mean, and we get to learn in Guardians 2 why why Yondu kidnapped Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
I love that in this film. I love the dance off scene, and it's just an all star cast, and it's really funny. And afterwards, the later ones kind of dip off from this one, but this one is really solid with Ronan the Accuser.
Mm.
I think Lee Pace is all right for him, but I think this is a good villain.
Yeah.
He actually, I think he kills people in this movie with like the Power Stone, but it kind of reminds me of and I don't want to steal your thunder with this movie, but Toy Story 3 when they're at the incinerator.
Yeah.
Star-Lord has the Power Stone, and he's like, he's gonna die.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna die. But Gamora grabs his hand, and she's like, I'm with you. I'm with you. Drax grabs his hand, and he's like, I guess I'm in this too. and Rocket is like, what the frick, dude? Like, oh crap! I guess I'll join you guys. And so he with Groot with a tiny stick,
Yeah.
representing Groot. I think this bonds them really together. I don't really like the Collector. I think he's a really weird character, sort of with the Duck. I can't think of the Duck's name.
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck. I don't really like him. But no, it's a good, like, as a spot of a top 10 Marvel list for me.
Yeah.
I think it is top 10.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, moving into number 9 for me. Another 9 out of 10. I have the first Iron Man movie.
All right.
Introduction to the MCU. Great movie for me. Great best origin story in the MCU for me for a singular character. That is best origin story. I love the fights. I love the villain. I like how it's a more grounded, down to earth movie. As a lot of the more recent movies have been like mystical and multiverse, and I kind of love just going back and rewatching a grounded MCU movie that you can just enjoy and be entertained from start to finish. So 9 out of 10 for me.
Wow, I thought you were gonna spend a lot longer on that one, but
nope,
it's okay. For number 9, might shock a lot of people.
Okay.
I have Age of Ultron.
Okay.
I like this movie. A lot of people hate this movie because they say it doesn't live up to the first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
But I really like this one. It's a solid MCU film, and I love, you and I talked about this before, but it doesn't have to be a big city fight to prove why they are, in caps, the Avengers. Captain America and his language and everything, I thought that was funny, and getting to see new characters in the such as like Quicksilver and Wanda. I think I love Quicksilver. Like him a little bit more than the guy from the X-Men movies.
Yeah.
And I think they kind of wasted him a little bit. I love him sacrificing himself for Hawkeye and the kid. But I think this film would have been pretty good if he was still alive for Wanda, as everything we see with WandaVision and everything. And I know that's more towards Vision, but if her brother was still alive and the Avengers, because he's like, this is the Avengers, like we hate Tony Stark, but now like we get to experience that, and so I think this is a really good film. And like the original cast, their arc, Hawkeye, I mean, he's evolving he's one of the ones that doesn't have any powers, but he can still do a lot with a freaking bow and arrow.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm gonna be made out of plastic. And the nurse is like, no, you're gonna be just as fine. And Ultron is a great villain. I rank these also based on not just rewatchability, but how great the villain is.
Yeah.
And Ultron is a great villain. I mean, we could see that today with like AI and everything. I
Yeah.
mean, he's a great villain, and his voice actor, I think, is awesome.
Funny fact. Do you know who his voice actor is?
So it's the guy from
It's the guy.
Office.
It's the guy that plays Robert California.
Yeah.
in The Office.
Yes,
Yeah.
I learned that, and I was like, "This is great," because Robert California is good in The Office, but his voice is captivating, and it's a good number 9 list for me.
All right, moving to number 8 at another 9 out of 10. I have the first Avengers movie. I think it's a good movie. I think that it is entertaining enough. I think at times there can be some boring, slow parts that isn't great for me, but it is what brought the main MCU together. And so, just for how important it is in history, I have to give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
It is my least favorite. It is my least favorite out of the 4 Avengers movie.
Yeah.
But I still think that it is a good movie.
Yeah.
So.
Now I hope I do this one service enough, and we have some disagreements on Avengers movies. But as 8 on my film, as an 8 out of 10, and the 8th spot, I have Avengers Endgame.
I think that's unacceptable.
And I think I was looking my list out today, and I'm like, maybe Dan is right. I said I love the time heist scene. I know you don't like that one, but I love them going back into the past, back whatever, and just Tony getting closure, because he didn't get closure from his dad, and just he doesn't like getting handed things, and so like when Howard just hands him something, he's like, all right, he's my dad. I can't tell him he's my dad. But with that, and as well as Thor and his mom getting some closure, and I don't know how she knows that he's from the future, but she's like, you look horrible. And he's just dealing with a lot, and I think it goes great. I don't really like Fat Thor and the whole
Too much
Fortnite, and the Fortnite stuff. But in Cap's language again, that's America's butt. I think was cool, but Cap being old and living his life, his deserved life with Peggy, is so wholesome. I kind of wonder what would happen, and we're gonna maybe see this with Doomsday. What happens when he did that?
That is the biggest point of Doomsday. They've already confirmed that. Doomsday exists because of him going back in time to live with Peggy. So I'm very curious how they spin that.
How they do that and everything. And I hate's a strong word. I'm sad that Captain America in that is old. I get he hands the shield down to Falcon. I wish it was Bucky that got the shield. I think Bucky maybe should have gotten the shield. I don't know what, and you could explain that, why Sam Wilson gets the shield. But I think Bucky deserves at least something. I know he has a metal arm.
It's mostly to stay true to the comic books, because that's what happens in the comics. Falcon becomes Captain America, so it's just to stay the continuity.
But I said there's some bits and pieces of the film that could be cut. But overall, a solid Avengers movie. And this has been out since 2019. So if you have not seen this, that's joke's on you. But Tony's sacrifice affects the MCU. I think that happens with like Spider-Man and with No Way Home and everything. But that one of the points in this movie affects the future of the MCU. And I think it's maybe well deserved. I love Tony Stark. I love Robert Downey Jr. And maybe what could have happened if he wasn't dead, but it's good. And we'll see. We'll have to see how Doomsday stands up with this film, because it sets it up. But it's a solid at an 8 spot with an 8 out of 10 for me.
Perfect. All right. Number 7 for me, another 9 out of 10. I have Age of Ultron. So this is just above the first Avengers movie for me. I think it's very enjoyable. Again, a lot of people don't like it. Think it's the least favorite Avengers movie. But I think Ultron's a very enjoyable villain. It does have the case of them trying to be one and done with villains, which I hate. Although that Vision series, Ultron's going to be in, so I'm excited to see what they do with that. If they use it as flashbacks or if he's actually going to be in the MCU again now. I'm curious to see how they go with that.
Yeah.
But I think Ultron's a very good villain. I love how they kind of spin it as a little bit more of like a scarier type movie. It's not a horror movie, but like they try to make him a little bit of a scarier character, which can lead to future films in the MCU, like how Multiverse of Madness was.
Yeah.
So like MCU is never going to go full out horror, but I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
Very enjoyable movie for me. 9 out of 10.
Let's race in for this next one because you love this film. I not so much, but at number 7 on my list with a 8 out of 10, I have Captain America: Civil War. I said good MCU film. Introduction to Spidey and having the backlash from AOU, Age of Ultron, and Winter Soldier. Like those two films really set up this one. Tony and Steve's rivalry is top notch. And at times I underrate this film.
Yeah.
I admit I don't really like this one, but I think it is a solid MCU movie. Hawkeye and Natasha are good, and seeing Crossbones, Brock Rumlow, in the opening scene is a good fight, and he's from Winter Soldier and everything. But getting to see a character we haven't seen before in the MCU as a villain, I think it's great. What else? And seeing Wanda trying to control her powers.
Yeah.
I think like what you said with Spider-Man, like this is after Age of Ultron. When she's a new Avenger, she's still trying to get under control, not crash out like she does in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
But I love Ant-Man. I love Sam Wilson and even Vision. I love those three characters. And Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes. And my favorite part of this film is Stan Lee's Tony Stank.
Yeah.
Seeing Carrie's is this for Tony Stank? And Rhodey's like, yes, it is. And Tony's like, oh, crap. But I think this is a solid, higher mid-tier MCU film.
Yeah. All right, moving into number 6, I have, with another 9 out of 10, Guardians of the Galaxy, the first Guardians. Very entertaining movie. The soundtrack is amazing. The music is great. Peter Quill is one of my favorite characters in the MCU, if you're just ranking characters. I think he's a very intriguing character, seeing him on Earth as a boy, seeing him get kidnapped, go into space, seeing kind of how he's a thief, but then he's turned into a good guy. Very interesting, intriguing storyline. This is in the era where Marvel did team up movies right, before Eternals.
Yeah.
They did the Avengers, great. Guardians was great. They just knew how to make chemistry with characters, and they worked their magic, and it was awesome. So 9 out of 10 for me.
For me, my number 6, and as my first, my last 8 out of 10 is Captain America: The First Avenger. Now I know a lot of people don't like this one, but you say like Spider-Man or like Tony Stark is like one of your favorite MCU characters. I love Captain America. I think Captain America is my favorite superhero, MCU superhero.
Yeah.
Said I love this, and seeing a scrawny boy who continues to fight for what's right turn into a jacked dude who still has his morals. He still is like, even though I'm buff, I still gotta fight for the little people. I still gotta do what's right. And Chris Evans is Captain America. I know they might recast a lot of people maybe if they redo the
they're gonna.
They are. But just like Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man, Chris Evans is Captain America.
Yeah.
I don't mean to dog on Sam Wilson. He's all right. But he is Captain America. And Hugo Weaving is a solid villain. Getting introduced to the Tesseract, later Infinity Stone, was cool, and his blooming relationship with Peggy Carter, I love that. I think they are top 5, maybe top 3 MCU couple. I think they're great, as well as his best friend Bucky Barnes. I love their chemistry, and I know I joked last podcast if Bucky would have stayed dead. I think Captain America needs a good best friend, and from the beginning, it's Bucky Barnes.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter later if it's Sam Wilson. Bucky Barnes is Captain America, Steve Rogers, best friend.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my last 8 out of 10 film for my top 6. So yeah.
All right.
Getting into top.
So going into number 5 for me, I have another 9 out of 10, Avengers Endgame. For me, I think it is worse than Infinity War. It has some very slow parts to it. I do like the time heist, but it's leading up to that for me. It's them kind of like experimenting and all. I feel like there's a lot that can be cut out of there that didn't need to be there. It's a very enjoyable movie. Tony's sacrifice at the end, like you said, I think is going to set up the future of the MCU. And I want to talk a little bit about, and this is probably the movie I'm going to spend the most time on.
All right.
For the rest of this segment. I need to go get something.
All right.
Just hang on for a second, viewers. I want to talk about and theorize some things because I have it right here with me. All right. The way I think Endgame sets up Doomsday / Secret Wars. So I have my Secret Wars comic book here, if you can see that on screen, if the lamp's not glaring it too much. I have my Secret Wars comic book here, and I just wanted to talk a little bit theorizing. So, the directors Joe and Anthony Russo have said that Doomsday and Secret Wars are direct sequels to Endgame.
Okay.
Which, at first glance, it's like there's been 15 movies and 10 TV shows since Endgame. Like, how is this direct sequel? Are you throwing everything in the garbage? I want to talk a little bit because not everybody that's an MCU fan is a comic fan. I grew up on comic books. I love comic books. Him, not so much. So, like, I'm talking to, like, him in the audience that's like him, that's like, we love the movies, we love the characters, not so familiar with comic books.
Yeah.
So, one thing that I think is interesting with the Secret Wars comic book, and then I don't have Time Runs Out right now, but Avengers Time Runs Out is also rumored to be something they're adapting for Doomsday and Secret Wars. But I do have the Secret Wars with me. And I actually just read this yesterday. It's a 312-page comic. I read the whole thing yesterday. It took me like 3 hours. But it's entertaining. I like it. So, one thing is we know that they said that Steve traveling back in time to live with Peggy starts it all off. So I assume that's going to cause an incursion, and that's how all of these events start to form. I've seen some theories. I don't want to talk too much because I've seen some leaks and I don't know what's true and what's not.
Yeah.
So I don't want to talk too much into those just in case it becomes true and there's some people trying to stay away from spoilers. But a theory that I have that has not popped up in anything on the internet is if you look at Secret Wars in the comic book, in Infinity War, I'm sorry, but it ties into Endgame. In Infinity War, Doctor Strange tells Tony that there's one outcome out of all these outcomes that he saw. And that this one outcome is the only way they beat Thanos and the only way that the main timeline can move forward and survive. Then in Endgame, when Doctor Strange comes back to life and they're in the final battle scene after Portals, Doctor Strange looks at Tony and just gives up his finger and goes, 1. Because Tony's like, is this it? And Doctor Strange just, this one outcome. I think they could take that to say Doctor Strange saw further than Endgame.
Further than Endgame?
So he knew maybe there was more ways to beat Thanos, but there's this next event coming that nobody else even knows about yet, and this needs to happen for Secret Wars.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know exactly how that's going to play out in the movies. I still think they're going to make a connection between Tony Stark and Doctor Doom, just because why else would you bring Robert Downey Jr. back? So I don't know how that's going to happen in the movies. But in the Secret Wars comic book, Doctor Strange is on Doom's team. So in the Secret Wars comic book, when all these incursions are happening, which is going to be the Doomsday movie, and Doctor Strange isn't supposed to be in Doomsday, so this could make sense. When all these incursions are happening, and the X-Men are fighting, and the Avengers are fighting, and universes are fighting to try to keep their universe alive, Doctor Doom and Doctor Strange are working together to kill the Beyonders, so that way they can make their own universe. Which in the MCU we don't have the Beyonders, so I think that's going to be replaced with Loki, because Loki in the TV show is God of Stories now. He controls all the timelines. So instead of Doom and Strange going to take down the Beyonders, I think it's going to be Doom and Strange going to take down Loki. And then Doom and Strange get the power to create their own timeline, which becomes Battle World, which is what happens in the comics. But all of this to say, I think Doctor Strange ends up being on Doom's team, just like in the Secret Wars comics. And I think the reason that a lot of people that aren't comic book lovers can't understand how Endgame connects to Doomsday and Secret Wars is because of that. Doctor Strange saw into the future in Infinity War. And in the future, Doctor Strange is a huge part of Secret Wars. And the Infinity Gauntlet is a huge part of Secret Wars, which a lot of people that haven't read the comics don't know. That is how Doom gets taken down, is because I don't know how they're going to do it in this because Black Panther's dead. But in Secret Wars, Black Panther, T'Challa, has the Infinity Gauntlet because Doctor Strange hid it from Doom in their new timeline, knowing if anything goes wrong, I can send somebody to go get the gauntlet. That's what happened. Black Panther goes to get the gauntlet, and that is ultimately how they defeat Doom and restore the timeline to how it's supposed to be, is with the Infinity Gauntlet. Black Panther snaps his fingers, and everything goes back to normal. So that's another way that Endgame and Infinity War can maybe be tied to Doomsday and Secret Wars, is if they run it back with that, and the Infinity Gauntlet also takes a huge part in Secret Wars.
So I know we're covering our top 5, but I have 2 questions.
Yeah.
Do you think Doctor Strange joins Doctor Doom because, and you might have touched, because he sees into the future, he sees that Doom can be defeated, so he joins him to quote unquote help him to further.
So the way that it's explained in the comic is Doctor Strange teams up with Doom, and you got to remember, in this universe in MCU, Doom's a new character, so they're gonna have to set him up. We've never seen him before, but in the comics, Doom's been a character, so everybody already knows Doom's a bad guy. But in the comics, the reason Doctor Strange joins Doctor Doom is because it's the only way he sees survival. So, kind of like in Infinity War, everybody dies, everybody loses. And it's kind of like, how is this the one reality where everything works out? You just killed everybody.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange knew something bad has to happen for something good to happen.
Yeah.
So in the Secret Wars comic run, Doctor Strange joins Doctor Doom in creating this alternate universe because it's the only way he can see to keep these incursions from killing everything. Because in the Secret Wars comic book, and in Avengers Time Runs Out, there are the final 2 universes clashing together. So if those universes clashes together and there's no battle world, it's over. It's just everybody's dead, everybody's gone, there's nothing.
Yeah.
So they create battle worlds, so that way when the 2 universes clash, everybody lives on battle world now.
Yeah.
And everybody's minds are wiped. So Doctor Doom's like God, Emperor Doom, and everybody sees him as like God and King. And pretty much to answer your question, Doctor Strange sees that as the only way to save everybody. And then he hides the Infinity Gauntlet for Black Panther to later find, because he knows Doom's going to have to be taken down at some point. But for now, this is the only way for...
So my last question is, since Black Panther is dead, T'Challa is no more, is there a... And if they do this, is there a worthy successor to use the Infinity Gauntlet?
My theory is it's going to be Steve Rogers.
I was thinking
I think they gave Tony's fit ending being the sacrifice. I think it's going to be Steve Rogers. The Russos have already said Steve Rogers is a main character in this storyline. and Steve Rogers does not become Captain America again in this storyline because we know Sam Wilson is still Captain America. So I could really see Steve Rogers, if they do run with the Infinity Gauntlet story, if that's how Secret Wars ends, is by the snap again. I could see Steve Rogers being the one to
I
take the
think
snap this
that
time.
that makes sense. Setting
Yeah.
up for the reboot and everything. I
Mhm.
think, yeah, because
I could see that being how they end it. Is Steve Rogers is the one to take the snap and it all goes back to normal. Yeah, because obviously T'Challa is no longer alive in the MCU, so that could not happen.
Yeah.
But no, sorry, I talked a long time
No,
about this. I just wanted to give some theories of how Endgame connects to Doomsday and Secret Wars. That probably could have been another segment.
yeah,
But anyway, back to Endgame. Boring parts, but it's a good movie overall. The portal scene is one of the most iconic scenes. When Cap gets Mjolnir, that is so awesome. Seeing that fight with the original big three of the MCU, Thor, Iron Man, Captain America,
yeah, dude.
seeing them fight Thanos right before the portal scene, it's peak. Love it.
Yeah.
Number 5 for me.
For 5 on my list, Letterboxd put No Way Home, but I changed my list, and my first 9 out of 10 film is Ant-Man. You talked about the music. I love the music, and I love Paul Rudd. He is Scott Lang. Sure, some of the comedy can bring down the film, but I love the relationship between Scott Lang and Wasp, and then also his daughter Cassie. And Michael Douglas returning as the OG Ant-Man is great and is a good callback. And I think I love the Yellow Jacket as a villain.
Yeah.
I think he's great as a villain. I think how they set him up was great. Sure, what you said, one-time villain, but I think he was good to be a villain.
Yeah.
So that is 5 on my list.
Okay. Moving into number 4, and I know this is probably top 2, if not your favorite one, but I have Captain America: Winter Soldier. I think it's a great movie.
Yeah.
It's 9 out of 10 for me. The past 11 through 1 are 9 out of 10 for me, my top 11. So it's just, what do I like more, what do I like less? But they're all great movies. Winter Soldier, I love the spy feel of this movie. It kind of feels like a Mission Impossible movie, but it's MCU, or a James Bond movie, but it's MCU. I love it. I love the action. I love the storyline. I love Nick Fury. We're thinking he's dead. He comes back at the end of the movie. I think it's a great overall film. I love how Captain America gets to feel the emotions of, this is my friend, this is Bucky. He finds out Winter Soldier is Bucky. I'm not gonna kill my friend. And at the end of the movie, he puts down his shield and he's like, I would rather you kill me than me kill you. So if that's what's got to happen, come at me.
Yeah.
And I love it. I think it's a great movie.
For 4 on my list, I know you love this one a lot. And I like this now, figuring out this list. It's a good film. I have Infinity War. I have Avengers Infinity War as a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
I said after thinking about it, this is the best Avengers movie.
Okay.
They lose for the first time. They lose bad. The stakes are high, and Thanos won. Doctor Strange telling Tony that there is only one winning future out there. Out of the 1 in about 14 million possible outcomes, he has seen using the Time Stone. This means I looked this up. It says this means the odds of success are roughly 1 in 14,605, or about 0.000007% that the Avengers win.
Yeah.
And obviously we see at the end of Endgame that they won. But Spider-Man being funny and serious brings this film up for me. I love him, his relationship with Tony Stark and being like, I don't want to die.
Yeah.
Like we did Homecoming, but like, you're my mentor.
Yeah.
I don't want you to die. And I'm dying. I'm turning to dust, man. And just, it hits so hard for me. And Steve with a beard. What? It's the only film we get to see Steve with a beard, and I think it's great. Well,
until December,
until December.
because he's gonna have a beard again in Doomsday.
Yes. But yes, I love him with a beard. I love the stuff with Thor of like, you copied my beard, and he's like, I did, and him just being like, Groot, I am Groot, and Steve's like, I am Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
And so I love the comedic to this, but the stakes are high and they lose so bad.
Yeah.
They lose. But yes, that is 4 on my list as
Very
a 9
good.
and 10.
Very good.
I'm glad I didn't make a lot of people mad.
So you were talking about how good Spider-Man is in this movie and his relationship with Tony Stark. Funny enough, I wish the Russos, and I know they're not gonna because these are probably gonna be their last movies, Secret
Mhm.
Wars and Doomsday, but I wish the Russos would do a Spider-Man movie because every movie they've done, Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame,
Mhm.
they understand Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They know how to tell a Spider-Man story and know how to portray a Spider-Man
Yeah.
character. I wish they'd do a Spider-Man movie. That would be awesome.
Mhm.
But no, just every movie that they do for Marvel that Spider-Man's in, they crush it. So, I mean, it's
yeah,
great.
I love. Yeah. What's 3 on your list?
All right, moving into number 3, another 9 out of 10. I have Captain America Civil War. Very enjoyable movie for me. I have it just above Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And this is one of those things that depending on the day, they can flip-flop. For
Yeah.
me, Winter Soldier and Civil War can go 3-4, 4-3. Like whatever order I'm feeling like for the day. I like this, and again, I'm a comic book reader. I like this better than the Civil War comic run. And that might be a bit of a hot take for people that read comic books. The comic run explains a little bit better of why they're fighting against each other. They have to kind of MCUify this, so they have to be like, oh, Sokovia, oh, yeah, let's just make sure that superheroes are in check. In the comic run, they actually have what's called the Superhero Registration Act. And so that's an event where the government says all superheroes have to register. And so it's a little bit more well explained as to why it is that way. I think the movies, though, do better explaining Iron Man's position.
Yeah.
Because in the Civil War comics, Iron Man's really just the bad guy. Like, there's no justifiable reason to be Team Iron Man. A lot of people in the movies like, oh, I'm Team Cap, I'm Team Iron Man. If you read the comics, everybody's Team Cap. Because, like, Iron Man is pretty much just like a fascist, wants the government to be in control of everybody type of person. So in the comic books, it's like Iron Man's kind of a terrible person in this comic run. But in the movies, there's a much more justifiable reasoning. So it can be a little bit more of like, oh yeah, I like Team Iron Man. Oh yeah, I like Team Cap. So I think it does that better. But I think it's enjoyable. I like seeing Cap going after trying to defend his old friend in Bucky. I love seeing that storyline progress all the way from the first Avenger to where it was in that movie. Spider-Man again, great. Black Panther, great. Zemo pulling the strings from the background when nobody knows it, but he's just back there pulling the strings, making everything happen, turning the Avengers against each other. It's great for me. 9 out of 10, number 3 on my list.
For 3 for me, and I have this because I love him so much. I have Doctor Strange. It's my 3rd MCU. It's a 9 out of 10. I love Doctor Strange. Benedict Cumberbatch being a successful and arrogant neurosurgeon. He's like, I can do this all. And him, it all crumbles. It hits hard. His car crash and him thinking like it's over. He's doing hand therapy and he's like, and he's pissed off.
Yeah.
Because it's all about his career.
Yeah.
And then he like reads about like this guy who this basketball dude who gets his life back or something. I don't know how I forget about that part. But him coming back as the ultimate Sorcerer Supreme is goated. I know this is later in the franchise with him being Sorcerer Supreme, but this sets up really well.
This movie.
Oh, it is?
Yep, it's at the end of this movie.
Oh, okay. I love his chemistry with Rachel McAdams, even though she's all right. But I think it is good. As well as Benedict Wong. I love Wong. I think it's funny him listening to like it's not Taylor Swift. It's whatever. Beyonce. Yeah. I love that scene. I love the book scene. And I'm gonna pronounce his name wrong, but Mads Mikkelsen as Coliseus is a great villain.
Yeah.
I think having it kind of brings me back with like Star Wars, and you train this person and then they become a bad guy, so you train this new person.
Yeah.
I think him being a villain is understandable. And the dang music is great. I love the music, the dun 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 dun. I love it. And yet another Infinity Stone, the Time Stone.
Yeah.
But it affects time itself, and so it's great. I love Doctor Strange.
I will say, because you mentioned his girlfriend in the movie, superhero movies just have this stereotype kind of, and it's warranted because a lot of them are.
Yeah.
It's just the annoying girlfriends.
Yeah.
Every single superhero has their annoying girlfriend that they gotta deal with. Mary Jane, her, Jane Foster.
Tony Stark and
Pepper Potts. Yeah, it's just every superhero has that annoying girlfriend.
Except for Captain America.
It's kind of funny. Peggy's great.
Yeah.
All right, moving into number 2. I have Avengers Infinity War,
All right.
a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
This is a great movie for me. I love it. It is nearly a flawless movie for me, but I am very strict on what I give a 10 out of 10. I revealed on the last episode, I only have 3 10 out of 10 movies ever.
Yeah.
So I'm very strict to give a movie a perfect score. And there's just enough flaws in this movie for me to where it can't get that, sadly. But it is a near perfect movie for me.
Yeah.
Action start to finish is great. We jump into it with Thanos killing all of the Asgardians on that ship and killing Loki and killing Heimdall. And I mean, it's just from start to finish, you get okay, we're in this now.
Yeah.
And you are on the edge of your seat until he snaps his fingers at the end of the movie. And then when he snaps his fingers, you're just sitting there like, what the freak? You're like, what just happened?
Yes.
It's a great movie. You're on the edge of your seat the whole movie, and then you leave the theater like, I gotta wait a year to figure out what the freak happens with this. What? And so no, I think it is awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's a great movie. My big thing with it that probably holds it back from being a 10 out of 10 movie is number 1, the Hulk.
Yes.
And how he is a wimp fighting Thanos at the beginning of the movie. He can't even put up a fight. And then he's scared of Thanos. Like, that is not Hulk. That is not Hulk at all.
No.
He is scared and he will not come out. Like, he will refuse to fight Thanos. Like,
he came out for Surtur in the previous movie. I mean, like, come on.
And I mean, power scaling, Surtur is a much more powerful villain than freaking Thanos is. So, I mean, that really turned me a little bit down on this movie, as in the score. There was one more thing. What was I going to talk about? I don't remember. There was another flaw I had, but the Hulk was the main thing.
Yeah.
It's a 9 out of 10 for me, number 2 on my list.
My number 2.
Number 2.
It's a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
I've got Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
I owe you guys an apology. Last podcast, my Spider-Man ranking list was dog water, dude. And it made no sense.
I've convinced him a little bit since then.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe like 2%. But I said, great Spidey movie. Love the nostalgia with Tobey and Andrew's Spider-Man coming back. Literally, this film is 3 dudes versus a wizard.
Yeah.
I love the updated Electro, Goblin, and Doc Ock. I think Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2 is better.
Yeah.
But Aunt May's death carries this film. And just like what you said last week, and you might touch on this, it was not at the cost of doing something wrong, but the opposite. Doing good can still lead to death. I think that carries, and it just gets it's good. Yeah. Andrew gets a redemption from Gwen's death. Yes. I think that's great. And he talks about how he stops pulling his punches. He gets rageful, and you kind of see that with Chasm 2, as he just doesn't want to be Spider-Man. And I wish, and I know we're not. I really hope they prove us wrong. But if we got a Spider-Man 3 for Andrew Garfield with a Venom, you could see this him getting and even without Venom, he's rageful. He stops pulling his punches because his Gwen's dead.
Yeah.
The person that was holding him together is now gone.
Yeah.
And he sucks and he can't be Spider-Man. But anyways, and Tom gets heated and is willing to kill Goblin. And it's just like, you killed Aunt May, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
It's that powerful. And William Dafoe laughs just like Heath Ledger does in The Dark Knight. I love his laugh.
Yeah.
He's better than like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 1. I mean, this Goblin is great.
Yeah.
Love the winter suit at the end of the film. I love that. Hope we get that look again.
It's going to be at the very beginning of Brand New Day, but
All
then
right.
he's going to get his Brand New Day suit, so it's not going to be for long.
But anyways, that is number 2 on my list.
Very good.
I know. There's only one film left for me.
Number 1, I have Spider-Man No Way Home, which Logan just spent 3 minutes talking about, but I'll give my quick thoughts of the movie. So I wrote down a few things while he was talking, so I could just kind of speed this up a little bit. Number 1, Goblin. Goblin is great in this movie, and he touched on that. William Dafoe's Goblin is top 2. I haven't made a list, so I'd have to go back and look at it. Maybe we can do that another episode. But it's definitely top 2, if not number 1, villain performance ever. Heath Ledger's probably 1. So yeah, I'd say he's probably 2. But Goblin, William Dafoe, peak performance. I don't think anybody could do better. That's a character that if you recast Goblin, which they tried in Amazing Spider-Man 2, you can't redo that. And I know it wasn't Norman, it was Harry, but still. You're not going to ever have a better Goblin than William Dafoe. No. He was amazing in this movie. He was ruthless. You saw that other side of Norman Osborn that is just like he can't control it. Yeah. And even though Norman is in the movie when he's at the feast shelter and then they go to the apartment, and it's Norman and it's not Goblin, but Goblin is in the shadows. Goblin's making his move, thinking, how am I going to do this? And then you get that flashback to the first movie. Norman's on sabbatical, honey. Yeah. And then it's just great. The way that Tom is just punching him in the hallway whenever they're falling through the ceiling. And he's just boom, boom. And he's just laughing at it. And then he throws the pumpkin bomb. It kills May. This movie, and the next thing that I wrote down is Tom's Spider-Man gets his first story arc out of the first 3 movies for me. And the problem with the first 2 movies was there's really no lesson learned until the very end of Far From Home when he starts to learn from his mistakes and then he starts to get into that. But this movie, he has to learn to be a hero. Yeah. Because this movie shows the story of, like he said, you can do everything right and you can do everything to try to be good, but bad things are still going to happen. And what are you going to do when those bad things happen? Are you going to stand up and fight back and rise against the bad? Or are you going to turn bad? And for me, awesome. This is the best part of Tom's Spider-Man out of this first trilogy. I'm excited for Brand New Day. But this is the best part of Tom's story arc is he wants to kill Goblin. Yeah. And then with a little help from Tobey's Spider-Man, he realizes that's not what a hero does. I came to heal these guys. I'm going to heal him. Yeah. He heals them. And then talk about the ultimate sacrifice, as we talked with Tony with Endgame and stuff. He is okay with everybody, including his girlfriend and his best friend, just forgetting about him to save the whole entire universe. Yeah. The universe crumbles and collapses if he doesn't sacrifice that. And he gives it all up. And then at the end of the movie, and some people hate that he didn't get back with MJ at the end of the movie. But at the end of the movie, when he goes into that restaurant and sees the Band-Aid on her face, it doesn't say it, but it implies in that moment, I've hurt, being around me is a danger for her. Yeah. It hurts her. It puts her in harm's way. I can't be with her right now. Yeah. And then he walks out without saying his speech. Yeah. And I love that. It's showing his character take the ultimate sacrifice and giving himself up as a person for the betterment of others, and that is Spider-Man. That is something the first two movies never did.
Yeah.
And this movie did perfectly.
Yeah.
It is my favorite Spider-Man movie. It is my favorite MCU movie. It is my favorite Marvel movie.
Yeah.
That is number one on my list.
No.
Oh, and I had one more thing.
What?
The Andrew story arc. Just
Yeah.
like you said, him saving MJ, like he didn't get to save Gwen. Great. It was awesome.
Dude, I'm tearing up a little bit. But no, just to quickly tie in with you, I think what you said about him saying like I screwed up, I hurt MJ,
Yeah.
is what Andrew should have kind of really thought about after the first movie. Phantasm 1 is like Gwen's a danger, and sure he tried pushing her away, but she didn't want.
So another reason, and a lot of people say this movie is nostalgia bait. Like, oh, you just like it because it's nostalgic. Look at the story, guys. Because I think another thing that leads to Tom Spider-Man making that decision to let MJ go, at least for this film, is he heard from Andrew Spider-Man. Andrew Spider-Man talked about losing Gwen. And I almost think maybe that had partly to do with it. Of, oh my gosh, his girlfriend died. My girlfriend almost died.
Yeah.
And that realization of...
Yeah. But I think it is a noteworthy MCU movie.
Yeah.
But my favorite MCU movie, and you know this.
Yep.
It's a 9 out of 10. It is Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I love, and as I said, I love Captain America. Steve Rogers is Captain America. Chris Evans is Captain America. I love the corporate espionage of this mission and feel to this movie, as well as like a darker side of Marvel. I don't like horror. Can't get down with that. But having a really like dark feel to it, it is a good MCU sort of tone.
Yeah.
Bucky is back, but not as Steve's friend, but as the Winter Soldier, and you kind of see that of like Bucky, and you kind of and Bucky's like mind controlled. He kind of breaks, and he's like, dude, this is not me. But Hydra just puts him back as the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And getting introduced into Sam Wilson, the Falcon, is cool, as well as the helicarriers going down. I love them being like, yeah, we kind of suck, and we got to get rid of it.
Yeah.
I love the Hydra agents infiltrating S.H.I.E.L.D. I think that's great. Of like, there's a mole, and everybody's turning on each other. Agent 13, the blonde chick, is great.
Yeah.
And Steve trying to get back his old friend is top notch. I'm with you to the end of the line, pal.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not gonna hurt you, and if you kill me, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
And then you see him hesitate. He's like, do I kill this guy that says he's my friend, or do I not? And then you see him just with the helicarrier crash, and then just carrying him out of the river is great. But Captain America: Winter Soldier is my favorite MCU movie. I will rewatch it. The music is great. But yeah, that is number one on my list. I know that was long.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Very good. I agree a lot with that. One thing I forgot to mention, you forgot to mention too, and I think it's going to light bulb in your brain. When I was talking about Winter Soldier, what is your favorite scene from that movie? And one of my favorite scenes in the whole MCU. You know what I'm talking about?
Hold on. Why am I blanking? Hold on. Don't give me a clue.
The elevator scene. The elevator fight.
Oh, dang it,
is
dude.
so awesome.
I love it.
And then in Endgame, when they go back in time and he's in the elevator with the same guys, and it's just kind of like that callback to that, and like nobody knows, and it's just kind of like a
Yeah. I trust you guys. No, that's great. And he's like, does anybody? And he's like, I'm getting out of this dang elevator.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to leave? Because it's gonna get nasty.
Yeah. No, that's one of my favorite scenes in the whole MCU.
Dude, that's great.
All right. With that, we're gonna take a little bit of a break, and we will be back in just a moment.
Yes.
See you then. All right, guys. So we're moving into the next segment. This is Keep 3, Cut 3 Star Wars characters. So we decided that we could do eras too. So like we could say prequel Obi-Wan or original trilogy Obi-Wan or Darth Vader versus or Anakin.
Mhm.
So we can kind of choose what era they're from. But just Star Wars characters. Keep 3, cut 3. I'm gonna make my list first. So here we go.
All right. Yeah, and this kind of calls back to our last podcast where we talked about Star Wars. So we're blending a lot. Your first character, Babu Frick from Rise of Skywalker.
Babu Frick. What the frick? We're gonna start off with a cut.
Okay.
I mean, like, there's just not much to that.
Yeah, but he's a little dude. He's great.
In 2 minutes of the movie, 5 minutes of the movie, he has 5 minutes of screen time in all of Star Wars. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, so Babu
Frick. All right.
Okay, cutting Babu Frick.
I'll hit you off with a bang. Darth Maul.
I mean, that's got to be a key, doesn't it? I mean, it kind of has to be a key. I think he is my second favorite villain beside Vader.
Mm-hmm.
I think it goes Vader and then Maul.
Dooku's up there for me.
Dooku's up there, but I think Maul's second for me. So
All right. Jango Fett.
Jango Fett might be a hot take. He's gonna be a cut for me.
Okay.
Okay.
I love Jango Fett.
I think he's all right. Again, don't think we see him enough for him to just be like up there for me. So, as soon as he gets into some action, he gets his head cut off. So,
All right. You've got 3 more.
I got 1 cut and 2 keeps.
We'll get you with a bang. Original trilogy Luke.
That's got to be a keep.
All right.
If it was sequel Luke, that would be a cut. But OG Luke, that's got to be a keep.
All right.
All right, 1 cut, 1 keep, going down to the final 2.
Now the question is, do I give you a worse character than this or a better one?
Well, you give me whatever you want to give me.
I'll give you, and this guy may or may not be. I'll give you Boba Fett. So did I give you a worse person for you to keep, or did I give you a better character for you to keep?
I'm cutting Boba Fett.
You're cutting Boba Fett.
Another hot take, maybe, but I'm cutting Boba Fett. The Fetts are not even my favorite bounty hunters in all of Star Wars. You've got Din Djarin, the Mandalorian. You've got Bosk. I mean, to me, I don't know. I'm just not as high on them, so I'm going to cut Boba Fett.
And do you want to know what you kept?
I kept Jar Jar, didn't I?
No, you kept Bryce Skywalker. I'm kidding. I had a. You kept prequel Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
You kept.
Honestly, though, I was gonna say even if it was Rey, I would have been fine with that because I think Rey's better than all my cuts. So I would have been okay with that.
Better than Django?
Yeah, I would have been fine with that. I would have been okay with that.
Or would you suck if you had to cut Obi-Wan?
Oh, if I had to cut Obi-Wan, that would have been bad, but I didn't cut Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no, I think my list is perfect. I don't think I would change anything. Maul, Luke, Obi-Wan versus Babu Frick, Jango Boba. I think it's a perfect list. I think I went 6 for 6.
We'll see if I can go
Do you disagree?
No.
I think I would. I think you were trying to trick me with Boba.
I
think you were wanting me to keep Boba or Jango.
Yeah.
And then we were like, "Oh, you cut Obi-Wan or you cut Luke."
Yeah. But I went easy on you. So.
No. I think I.
We'll see if I go 6 for 6.
You're not gonna.
I'm not. I'm not.
Let's start this off
With a
Kylo Ren.
I'm cutting him.
Okay.
I'm cutting him. He is a worse version than Darth Vader.
He is a worse version than Darth Vader. I
I'm
agree.
cutting him.
But I think.
Would you have kept him?
I think personally, well, I can't tell you if I'd keep him or not because I'm not giving away hints about your list. But I think he is the best part of the sequel trilogy for me.
Yeah.
I don't. Which
I think I just
doesn't, which doesn't say a lot. But you're just gotta hope that there's a lot of OG people on here.
I don't know. You might screw me over.
Okay. Number 2. We're gonna go with BB-8. You didn't think about droids. BB-8.
He sucks. I'm cutting him.
Okay,
I know this sucks because I have 3 keeps
and 1 cut.
I could have kept Kylo.
Do you want an easy keep? Do you want me to give you an easy keep?
Yeah.
All right. We are going to give you Anakin Skywalker.
Cut. No, I'm kidding.
No, no. I'm gonna keep him. I love Anakin. Now,
Okay.
which is it? Is there a specific Anakin?
2 and 3, episode 2 and 3. Not the
Okay.
kid. Not the kid.
Okay. No, cut Anakin from episode 4.
Okay, no, yeah, episode 2 and 3, Anakin Skywalker.
All right.
I'll give you a key.
Do I go with a bang? And do I go? What do I do?
I
What
don't
do I
know
do?
what you
What do
do.
I do?
I'm giving you Poe Dameron from the sequel trilogy.
Oh, actually, he is one of the best parts.
They fly now.
He is a good, like in Last Jedi when he's like, I ain't backing down from a dreadnought.
Are you going
I'm keeping him. I'm keeping Poe Dameron over Kylo Ren. I'm keeping Poe Dameron. Did I mess up? Is there 2 goated people in here? There's 2 goated people. There is. Dang it!
You only get to keep one of them.
And I have to bank. Oh, I screwed over.
Your first goated character that you have to choose if you keep or cut is Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, I'm cutting him. Cutting it, dude.
I was trying to get you worked up a little bit.
Yeah.
And he goes at number 6 because he is the worst.
All right, you want to know who you kept?
Don't say it.
You kept Rose.
No, I should have kept Kylo, dude.
You should have kept Kylo. You would have had a perfect list if you kept Kylo.
Oh,
You kept Rose.
I hate Rose.
Rose is the worst character in all of Star Wars. She's worse than Jar Jar Binks.
I'd like to switch Kylo and
No switches. So, just to reread our lists, I kept Darth Maul, original trilogy Luke, prequel trilogy Obi-Wan. Logan kept Anakin Skywalker, Poe Dameron, Rose.
Dang.
I cut Babu Frick, Jango Fett, Boba Fett. He cut Kylo Ren, BB-8, Jar Jar Binks.
I should have kept like Jar
If
Jar
you
or something.
kept Kylo
Or Jar
and
Jar,
cut-
honestly.
No, if you kept Kylo and cut Rose, you would have been 6 for 6. That was when you cut Kylo at the beginning. I was like, he's in trouble. I was hoping you were gonna cut Poe, and then you had to keep Jar Jar and Rose. I was hoping you would do that.
I went 5 for 6. Yeah. 4 for 6.
You went 4 for 6. You
Oh,
went
okay.
4 for 6. I went 6 for 6. He went 4 for 6. But
We'll see if I beat him next time. I don't know.
that's the end of that segment. Let us know what you think down in the comments.
Do you like that?
We are moving into the final segment of our episode today. I saw Toy Story 5 this past week,
Yeah.
and so I wanted to rank it for you guys. But I thought I can't rank it without ranking the Toy Story movies for y'all, which I know we did top 10 Pixar,
Yeah.
but it's only going to be Toy Story right now. So he has not seen Toy Story 5, but he wanted to be included. He didn't want to feel left out.
I did. I want to be included.
So he's going to rank Toy Story 1 through 4,
Yeah.
and he's going to start us off. Then I will rank all 5 Toy Stories
Last is Toy
and
Story.
give my review on Toy Story 5.
I'll give you. I'll save us the time and give you like 2 seconds for each film. Maybe.
Just quick thoughts.
I love 4 is Toy Story 4, where
Okay.
it belongs.
Okay.
I hate it. Don't like Gabby. Love Duke Kaboom. I like the trade off of Buzz is staying and Woody is leaving.
Yeah.
I think it is kind of fair, honestly. Though it does suck. It is. It isn't a bad film. I think from here on out, it's gonna be a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
I think it is good, but yeah. Number 3 for me is first Toy Story with an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
I think if I gave it 7 out of 10 like last time, I would have gotten more hate. But it is, for its animation and its time, it is good.
Yep.
It is good. I love it. I love I keep seeing the stuff on YouTube where it's like, you are a toy. Yeah. And it's just the voice acting between Tom Hanks and Tim Allen is great. And I think for its time, when we were really young kids, I think it was great. We're gonna disagree on this,
Okay.
and I know it. But number 2 is Toy Story 3.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. It is. I'm gonna say, it is a 9 out of 10 for me.
I'm okay with that.
I love Toy Story 3. I think the ending kind of how it kind of would have, should have, maybe, if they burned up. I know you can't show that as a kids movie. You absolutely can't, because kids are going to scream out of the theater. But I think how we talked about with like how I talked about with Guardians,
Yeah.
them holding hands and like we're accepting, like if we're getting incinerated,
If this is it, this is it.
this is it. And sure, I hate how Andy is finally moving on and giving them to Bonnie, but I think I love the callback with Andy and just like him from start to finish. Like, do I get rid of him?
Mm.
Like I've had these my whole life, and do I get rid of them?
Yeah.
But for number one, as like a 9.5 out of 10, Toy Story 2.
Mm.
I love Toy Story 2. I think Stinky Pete was the one of the best like Pixar villains.
Yeah.
He is up there being a forgotten toy, and like he wants like Jesse and Bullseye and even Woody to get back in the box, to be forgotten, because nobody wants him. Jesse has abandonment abandonment issues.
Yeah.
She's just
She has PTSD.
yeah, she has PTSD from Andy's mom. I think I learned that.
No, it's not. Andy.
It's not Andy's mom? Oh, dang. I'm going to get roasted now.
That was a theory, but that's a long running theory. But no, it's not Andy's mom.
Dang it. No, but I think Buzz finally, like, dude, I gotta save my friend, dude. And I'm going all out to save him. I love traffic cones. I think I think it is it Slinky who steps on the gum in the middle of the road and like the giant like cinder bowler is like coming through. I think it's one of them. I think that's great. Al is a horrible person. I hate him. You got ASMR Woody.
Yeah.
But I think the Star Wars reference and just like you see Emperor Zurg.
Yeah.
I think he's a great villain. So yeah, at a 9.5, I love Toy Story 2.
Yeah, I think it's a very good list. I have a few differences, but
Yeah.
I think it's very good. So I'm gonna start with my ranking. Once I get to Toy Story 5, I will give my review of the movie. Then we will move on with the ranking. So I am going to warn people from here on out. He's not planning on seeing the movie till it comes out on DVD.
Yeah.
So that's his choice.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna warn you, if you want to see it in theaters anytime soon, I am gonna give us a few spoilers
Yeah.
on Toy Story 5. So if you do not want to hear any spoilers, leave this video now. This can be the end of the video for you because we are doing nothing after this. I made this the last part of the video specifically because of the spoilers.
Yeah.
So if you do not want any spoilers, goodbye. We will see you next week on the podcast. But if you have seen Toy Story 5 or if you do not care about spoilers, here we go. Number 5, I have Toy Story 4 with a 7 out of 10.
All right.
So I think it's a decent movie.
Yeah.
It's an okay movie. It's a not needed movie.
Yeah.
The Toy Story 3 had a perfect ending. Gabby Gabby's not the best villain. Duke Kaboom's awesome, just like he said. Now, the animation in this movie is very good.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
I've seen people say when they're in the antique shop, you can see dust particles
Yeah.
animated. Like, and the animation is spectacular.
Yeah.
But the story just doesn't do it for me. It doesn't feel needed. I do kind of like at the end how Woody leaves the family. And I'll get into that in a little bit when I talk about Toy Story 5. When Woody leaves to be with Bo Peep, I do like that. And we'll get into that more when I get to Toy Story 5. But for me, 7 out of 10, okay movie, but way, way down the list from the rest of the movies. Number 4, I got Toy Story 1.
Wow.
With a 9 out of 10. So everything here on up is 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Great movie, great animation for its time. It hasn't held up as well. There's some color scaling issues. Some of the colors are a little dim. But for its time, it was a breakthrough in technology, a breakthrough in animation. Great movie. Awesome moments between Woody and Buzz. I don't want to repeat a lot of what he said, but a lot of what he said is what I feel. Sid's an awesome villain. Just seeing his obsession with like... And some people say that he's not really a bad guy and he's just a kid. Dude freaking had fantasies about murdering people and took it out on his toys. Think about how messed up in the head he had to be to torture toys and murder toys. Because we learn in this universe that this is children's imaginations coming to life, and Andy's imagination is about Wild Wild West and cowboys and space rangers. And Sid's like, oh no, we're imagining torturing and killing people. So no, Sid is a villain, and I think he's a very good villain.
Yeah.
But some people are like, oh, Sid's not really a villain. He's just a misunderstood kid. And I'm like,
He's
no,
messed
he's a villain.
He's
Messed up in the brain. So I got that at a 9 out of 10, number 4 on my list. Number 3, this is where Toy Story 5 comes in for me. I also have a 9 out of 10 for this movie. I like it better than the OG Toy Story. I do not like it better than the Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3. So here goes my review on Toy Story 5. And I'm not going to spend hours on this, but I'm just going to give my thoughts about the movie. First, I'm going to start with my dislikes. Woody is not necessary in this movie.
Oh, wow.
I think, like I said, I liked the ending of him going off with Bo Peep in Toy Story 4. He did not need to come back for this movie. If he does not exist in this movie will go the exact same that this movie goes.
Yeah.
None of this plot changes if he's not in it.
He's irrelevant.
He's irrelevant. He's there to sell toys and to sell movie tickets. Sell merchandise and movie tickets. That's really what it is. This movie is about Jesse mainly and about Buzz secondary. This movie's not about Woody at all. So I just kind of feel like he's there.
Yeah.
Now I will say there's a couple moments in it that I do love with his character, but it's just he does not need to be there for the plot of the movie.
Yeah.
Now the things that I like about this movie, there is a scene where Lilypad, the new tablet that Bonnie gets, is up on the shelf on the nightstand next to Bonnie's bed, and Woody has come back to help the toys because technology has invaded their house. So Woody comes back to try to help them, and when Lilypad's up on the bed, they send Woody up on the bed to go confront Lilypad. And this is the only moment from the movie that I actually love about Woody. It is a major callback to the first Toy Story movie where Buzz is on the bed and all the toys on the floor send Woody up to go confront Buzz. And that's kind of how the rivalry starts in the first movie. They send Woody up on the bed to go confront Lilypad, and then they have a falling out and they fight. And it's funny, and it's a big throwback to the first movie. And that is the only part of the movie that I actually liked with Woody in it. The rest of the movie, I think, if he doesn't exist, the movie doesn't change at all. Now, what I love about the movie is this is a story about Jesse. The first 3 Toy Story movies have been about Woody, Andy, and Buzz. And Jessie was introduced as a side character in Toy Story 2, and we got her backstory a little bit in Toy Story 2. But this movie is about Jessie. This is her story. This is her dealing with kind of that PTSD of her abandonment. So she is going through the Emily abandoned me, my former owner. I found Andy. We felt a little bit abandoned by Andy. Then we got to Bonnie, and now the iPad's taking over, and it's Jesse going, I can't do this again. I can't be abandoned by a kid again. And I love how they portray that. And throughout this movie, Jesse ends up back at the house that Emily grew up on.
Okay.
So where Emily used to play with her. And she meets the new little girl that's living there. And the new little girl gets to play with her, and she gets to see all of Emily's old stuff. And it's kind of really emotional. Then Bonnie is going to pick Jesse up because Jesse gets lost in this movie. That's how Jesse gets to this house, is because the address that Emily used to live at is written on Jesse's clothing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so Jesse gets lost. An old couple picks her up, reads the address, and says, oh, we'll go drop her off. So that's how Jesse gets to that house.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And then Bonnie finds out that Jesse's missing. And so Bonnie goes to get Jesse. Bonnie finds out where Jesse is, and I'm not going to reveal everything about the movie and how that happens. But Bonnie finds out where Jesse is, so Bonnie goes to pick up Jesse. Her mom's driving her to that house, and Jesse's so excited. Jesse's like, okay, I'm finally going to go back to Bonnie. I can help Bonnie again. Things can be how it should be. And the movie is really toys versus tech, because Jesse's like, that iPad is ruining Bonnie's life. I can finally go help Bonnie again and help Bonnie get away from that technology and learn to play again. And so Jesse's so excited. Bonnie's coming to pick her up. And then Bonnie, on the way to the house to pick up Jesse, is on her Lilypad tablet. And it's so, if you were a kid that grew up with technology in school, which I think I was really part of the first generation of that, I think the generation before me didn't have as much technology in school. Cyberbullying is a huge thing, and this movie touches on that. And on the way to go pick up Jessie, Bonnie's on her lily pad tablet and is in a group chat, and her friends find out that she's going to pick up her toys, and her friends start bullying her basically and going, "Oh, you didn't play with those toys? Do you miss your toys? You're a baby." And they start sending crying emojis and stuff, and like pretty much full out just bullying Bonnie. So then they get to the house to pick up Jessie, and Bonnie and her mom gets to the door, and the little girl comes down with Jessie to hand it to Bonnie, and Bonnie says, "I don't like these anymore. You keep them." And then Bonnie runs back to the car crying. And then after that, and Bonnie drives off, you just see Jessie like starting to freak out because it's deja vu for her. It's abandonment all over again. Bonnie doesn't want me. Bonnie came to find me after I was lost, and now she's abandoning me. She got bullied into not wanting me anymore, and now I'm abandoned again. And so then Jessie's going through that crisis, and Jessie runs to the tire swing, if you remember in Toy Story 2, where she's spinning around on that tire swing with Jessie holding her hands. And you see that scene in Toy Story 2. Jessie, on that same house, goes back to that tree and back to that tire swing. And there, she finds her name engraved into the tree. And she's like, "I don't remember my name being engraved here." And then she finds buried in the dirt underneath the tire swing, there's a lunchbox. She opens it up and reads a card. And it's a birthday card to a little girl, and it's like, "You will always be my little girl." And it talks about growing up and stages of life and how her mom loves her. And then it ends, "You will always be my little cowgirl, Jessie." And so Jessie's reading that card, she flips it over, and it's a picture of her owner, Emily, who is now a mom and has a daughter who she named Jessie. So Emily named her daughter after her favorite toy growing up. So that is kind of like the healing moment for Jessie. I was never abandoned. I was never unwanted. I had my place in Emily's life, and Emily outgrew me, and I helped her get to the point where she didn't need me anymore. And that's all our job is supposed to be as a toy. We are supposed to help that kid through that stage of life. And when that stage of life is over, that doesn't mean the kid hates us and we're abandoned. That means that we helped them get to where they need to be. So that is kind of Jessie's healing, is she sees that Emily named her daughter after her, and she's like, "I was never abandoned. I was never forgotten. I just helped her get to that next stage of her life." And then she realizes, that's what I need to be for Bonnie. So the movie then moves to, tech is not bad. Tech has its place in life. And so now we move into the section of the movie of everything has a place in people's lives, and everything can be misused or mistreated. Tablets can totally be mistreated, but tablets have a place in life. And so we get to the movie, Lilypad, the tablet, also thinks she was just trying to help Bonnie make friends. So Lilypad was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm the reason that Bonnie's having a crisis now and crying because friends are bullying her." So now Lilypad feels bad. Lilypad throws herself away and throws herself onto a donation truck. And so then Jessie's trying to find Lilypad again and trying to show Lilypad, "Hey, we were both wrong. We were both trying to help Jessie. I mean, we were both trying to help Bonnie, but we were both wrong. Me as a toy, I have a place in her life, but you as a tablet, you also have a place in her life, and we have to learn how to combine the two." So then Jessie goes and gets Lilypad. They go back to Bonnie. It kind of heals back up. The girl that Jessie was with at her old house that Emily used to live at, her and Bonnie become friends. So the movie ends with them having a play date. The tablet has its place in Bonnie's life. Jessie and the toys still have its place in Bonnie's life. And the movie kind of ends as Jessie is healed now. Jessie does not have that PTSD of abandonment anymore. Jessie realizes, I am here to help her grow up. And when she's grown up, I move to the next kid that I get to help grow up. And so it kind of just fulfills her story of since Toy Story 2, she's always had this worry and feeling of abandonment. And that's healed now. And that fixes that. Another great part of the movie is a funny part of the movie is the romance between
Yeah.
Buzz and Jesse. They end up having a kiss in the movie. It's funny. It's pretty funny. The high-tech buzzes are funny. There's a moment in this movie, the new high-tech buzzes are drones as well, so they have wings and they can fly. And so the first Toy Story movie, Buzz learns he can't fly, and like that's a traumatic thing for him. He's like, I'm a space ranger and I can't fly because like he's learning that he's a toy. In this movie, the new buzzes can fly, and Buzz is like, it's kind of funny. But no, I love this movie. It comes in at number 3 for me. I still like Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3 better. But to me, Toy Story 4 had no place. I didn't feel like it was a story that needed to be told. This to me should have been Toy Story 4.
Yeah.
But this is a great movie.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I think this could be the highest grossing movie of the year. Like, I honestly think it could make
More
the
than
most.
Doomsday?
I think Doomsday's gonna have the problem of if it's bad, people aren't gonna go back and rewatch it.
Ooh.
So they are banking that Doomsday's gonna be good, but if Doomsday's bad, it's not gonna make a lot of money.
Wow.
Toy Story, between it being a kids movie, a family movie, it came out on summer break where nobody's in school. People can go watch it any day of the week. On top of it being just a really good movie, people are gonna go back and rewatch it. I think this has a chance to compete with Spider-Man and Doomsday to be top grossing movie of the year. But no, I give that a 9 out of 10. That's my review on Toy Story 5. I thought it was a very good movie. So, all right, moving to number 2, I have Toy Story 2. I won't spend as long on these last two. Toy Story 2, love that movie. A lot of what Logan said. I love the premise of Woody being lost and the other toys kind of like grouping together, like we're going to go save Woody. I love that part of the movie. Love the Star Wars reference. That's another thing. There is another Star Wars reference in Toy Story 5. So kind of funny. But I love the Star Wars reference in Toy Story 2 where Zurg's like, no, Buzz, I am your father. No, but then in Toy Story 5, it's kind of a callback. All of the new buzzes, all the high-tech buzzes that are in the movie. Buzz is like, oh, guys, and Zurg's our father. And all the buzzes go, no, it's really funny. But yeah, Toy Story 2, the Star Wars reference, the toys all banding together to go find Woody, and then Woody doesn't want to go back, and the toys are like kind of hurt by that and like, what? And then eventually Woody does go back, and Jesse and Bullseye join. Great movie, 9 out of 10, second on my list. And that leaves number 1 was Toy Story 3, that prison break type Toy Story movie. One of my assignments in high school history class was to watch Toy Story 3 and compare it to the Holocaust, which you don't think about that until you have that assignment put into your head, but there really are a lot of comparisons with Lotso being Hitler, and then there's like the gas chambers, and then it's like the toys going into the furnace, and so like that was one of my assignments in school was to compare Toy Story 3 to the Holocaust, and I was like, whoa, but there are quite a bit of similarities, but it's kind of funny. I just think it's a great movie. I think it had the perfect ending of the franchise. I don't think there needed to be more movies. I'm glad we got Toy Story 5 in hindsight. But this really did kind of have the perfect ending to Andy's arc with the toys.
Yeah.
So that leaves me with that at number 1. So
Cool.
that is my ranking for the Toy Story movies. That is my review on Toy Story 5. If you have not seen it, go see it. Definitely recommend. It is my favorite movie of the year so far. We still have half a year to go, but so far, I've seen this. I've seen I've seen the Mario Galaxy movie. What else have I seen? Oh, let me pull it up real quick. Sorry, guys. I was not prepared for this. Okay, so I have seen Mandalorian, Super Mario Galaxy, Punisher, which I included in my movie list, and then Toy Story 5. This is easily my favorite of the year. I would definitely recommend that you go see it. So, yeah, that is all. Anything that you want to say?
No, I thought that was good.
Yeah.
I think I should go watch Toy Story 5 when it comes on DVD. No, I think it should be a good, and I'm excited for Spider-Man. I'm excited for Doomsday. No, I don't think I have anything. Just join. I'm going to do a couple lives this
Yep. So here's another thing, and I'm sure he has mentioned it on the video games.
Enough.
Oh, okay. He hasn't.
No.
So I'm taking a bit of break from video games right now. I have a lot going on in my work life and my personal life. Doing the podcast and the games was just a little bit too much for me right now. So I'm taking a bit of a break from the gaming. Logan's going to do all the gaming.
Mhm.
So stay tuned. You'll see him.
Yeah.
He's doing the Spider-Man Let's Play series right now. New episode has just come out by the time you guys are seeing this.
Yeah.
So they're going to come out weekly on Saturdays.
And then
Battlefront.
And then
too.
Battlefront live streams. So yeah, just stay tuned. He's going to do all the gaming content. I'm going to focus majority on the podcast content.
an
That's where
editor,
you'll see
he's
me.
better than me.
Yeah, I'm taking care of editing everything. He's taking care of gaming. So yeah, I am seeing Supergirl as of when we're recording this. I am seeing it tomorrow.
Give your review next week.
So next week I will have my review on Supergirl. We are also going to do our review of DC movies next week. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
I will have Supergirl included in that, and I will give my spoiler review of Supergirl next week while we do our rankings.
Wow.
Don't know how to feel about it. I'm trying not to read reviews because I'm trying to go into the movie with an open mind.
Oh yeah.
So we will see how it is. I'm seeing that tomorrow. Tune in next week if you're interested in DC movies and interested in Supergirl. And we will see you guys next week. Bye.